Cat's funny, man.
Hey, you guys, what's up? Pookie just came in complaining.
Yeah.
Well, she's mad at us because I don't think she's mad, but Tom came in here and he's like, "Go look in the gym, like look at Pookie." Yeah. And she was like laying in the doorway of the gym, laying on her back
with her feet
hanging up like that. Yeah. And she had like one of her little mint toys next to her, and she just like looked at me on the side like she was high as balls.
Yeah, she was high as shit.
I
said, you were sniffing that shit until it knocked you out, didn't you? She's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. They love those little. They're these little things. I can't remember what the brand name is. I get them from Chewy. They're kind of expensive. They're like $3 or $4 each, and it's just like a little cloth.
Made out of fabric, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little cloth that looks like it's got two little mint leaves on the end, and then it has like a little bar thing in the middle.
It's like a little green pillow.
Kinda.
Yeah.
And it smells like mint. And holy crap,
they fucking love that shit.
Those cats love it. It's like that Pookie will pick them up in one hand and just rub it on her face.
Yeah.
And then, like she kicks it with her back feet.
Let me get what showed up today. I'm gonna show that on the show.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's gotta get one of the mint toys too. We'll show him. But like I said, I have to keep buying new ones. We have like little mint toys like scattered all over the house because all three cats are really into them, and they all react the same way. The weird thing about it is that because mint is related to catnip, and both Pookie and Beijing are really into catnip. Like they'll just roll around in it, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I gave catnip to Bambi a couple times, and she was like, meh, she didn't really give a shit. But she really likes that mint thing though.
This is what came in today.
Yeah, we got that. The whole series.
Kolchak the Night Stalker.
Because we've been watching them on YouTube, but they don't have them all.
Yeah, they only got like 8 of them.
So we bought it.
There's only one season of it. This is back in the 70s. What was it, 76, I think?
75? I think it was 75.
And they're about 20 episodes, I think. Was it 20 or 30?
I think it's 20 episodes,
right.
But yeah.
So you can get that off of Amazon. You can get that off of Amazon for about $12 delivered. And it's got 4 CDs in it.
Yeah. It might have the movies on it, too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have to look.
Because, like I said, I reviewed the movies on my Scare Salon channel, but I had never seen the series. So when Tom expressed an interest in watching the series, I was like, well, yeah. And like I said, somebody had them on YouTube, but they only had like 7 or 8 of them on there.
Let me see if the movies are on there.
And, you know. So eventually we're going to cover... I don't know if we're going to be able to do it this Monday, because I don't know if we're going to have time to, like, watch all the rest of the episodes.
I don't think it has the movies on it.
Okay. I saw them. I don't remember where I saw them.
Yeah.
They were on a streaming service. But, or they were on YouTube. I might have watched them on
It's just 20 original episodes.
Okay, yeah. So it's the 20 episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
I can watch the movies just on YouTube.
Yeah, that's where I think I saw them. Yeah. There's like a high definition one on there. But yeah, so we probably won't review them Monday. We might do them the Monday after, because we need time to like watch
There's a lot of shows to watch on there.
That's what I mean.
We've seen about 8 of them. They're good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
I thought you would like it. I thought you would like them.
It's kind of like... it kind of reminds me of Columbo. Similar format, similar kind of character.
Like Columbo, but paranormal.
Yeah, but like a paranormal. Columbo and the X-Files.
Yeah.
And you never know which way it's going to go. I mean, it goes fucking crazy. Each one's kind of a standalone paranormal / monster movie.
It's like a Monster of the Week type thing.
And it's got a lot of humor in it. It's not zany, but Kolchak says funny shit. Funny shit happens, you know. And he's like, nobody's going to believe this.
I always liked,
all kinds of weird
even
shit.
In the movies, like I really liked the interactions between him and like his editor. Like, because they were always sniping at each other, and they were like super funny. Like, they were always arguing.
And each episode has kind of like a guest star. They were usually kind of like famous people from the 70s. You know, Tom Bosley.
Yeah, Tom Bosley was
in one.
The one we saw yesterday one of them had Kathy Lee Crosby.
Kathy Lee Crosby.
Playing a Greek goddess.
Yeah, she was like in the fucking height of her cuteness. She was cute. And so each episode kind of has like a headlining celebrity.
Yeah.
Usually a TV type celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, I recognized a lot of people.
If you were a kid growing up in the 70s, you recognize him.
Yeah. Didn't we see, he wasn't like a main role, but I think like there was one scene in there that had fucking Reb Brown in it from Space Mutiny. Any of you
I didn't know who that
MST
is.
dorks out there will know who that is. The guy with the screen. He was also in You're the Hunter from the Future.
Yeah.
Big, like, bodybuilding dude. But it's like, it was funny because I was just kind of like, holy shit. Was that Reb Brown? He didn't scream. I almost didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Because he has that great... Seriously, even if you don't like MST, please watch the Space Mutiny episode. It's one of the funniest fucking things ever made. It's so fucking funny.
Full Metal Nosferatu said he saw Kolchak recently at Walmart with a glow-in-the-dark fucking...
Neat!
Yeah, that might be good. I guess it's making a comeback, because I've heard other people mention it. People have been reviewing it.
Yeah.
It's a good series. Real good.
Yeah, I really like it. I really like the movies, and I'm really getting into... Like I said, every week it's like, it's going to be some weird monster from, folklore.
Don't expect modern special effects.
Well,
it's
no.
70s TV special effects.
Yeah, it's like dudes in costumes.
Dudes in fucking lizard costumes and shit.
Yeah, there's like a big...
But that's kind of the charm. That's kind of like the charm of the movie.
I know, I kind of
You're not supposed to take it that seriously.
Well, I think it kind of works, like, with the whole tone of it, because they're just like, really? This is not happening. This isn't real. Come on.
I'd put it on par with the Night Gallery. In terms of technical quality. I like Night
And
Gallery.
honestly, like, Night Gallery, I love Night Gallery, to be honest. I'm still working my way through Night Gallery, because I have the whole box set of that, too. Because that was, like, 3 seasons. But, I'm trying to work my whole way through that over on my Scare Salon channel, and it's taking forever. But, those are kind of hit or miss. Yeah. Like, some of them were really, really good, and some of them were kind of
Yeah.
Some of them were kind of dumb. And the thing about it was that I feel like, I know because it was Rod Serling involved still, and he was, the Twilight Zone guy. And he wrote a lot of the Night Gallery episodes, too. And I thought the whole point of Night Gallery was to go, like, scarier, like more horror forward than Twilight Zone had been, which Twilight Zone was kind of slightly more sci-fi or morality tales.
Yeah. But
I kind of feel like some Night Gallery ones still have that lingering Twilight Zone morality tale thing, because some of them are like not scary at all.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you go over to my either like on my Scare Salon channel on YouTube, or I also have my Scare Salon blog where I write like big long form things about it. Like I've been doing Night Gallery, and I've been doing Thriller with Boris Karloff, like from the early 60s, and that is also taking me forever because there's a million fucking episodes. And they're like an hour long each, so, watching them, and then, for a while, I was doing like 6 episodes at a time, like on one video, and then like the video would be like an hour and a half long. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I should just do one episode at a time. Because I'm like, Full Metal Nosferatu says Reb Brown was Captain America. Was he really? I knew he'd been in a lot of stuff. Like, other than... I knew him from Space Mutiny because I've seen Space Mutiny a million times because of MST. But I knew he'd been in other things. I knew about Your Hunter from the Future, which I've never seen the whole thing, but I saw Brandon Tenold's breakdown of it, where they show most of the movie. You know what I mean? He also says, did you ever see the rebooted Night Stalker with Stuart Townsend?
No.
The showrunner was one of the X-Files creators. That might be interesting to see. Now, Stuart Townsend, that was the guy that was in Queen of the Damned, right? Wasn't that the guy that played Lestat in Queen of the Damned?
Maybe. I don't know. If there's a rebooted version, maybe we'll see it after we get done with the original.
Yeah, it would be kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to dive into that until I'd seen the original.
I mean, I just kind of feel like the whole Kolchak concept, like the way the show is just so 70s to me that it's like, I don't know... It wouldn't really have the same charm, I think, like divorced from its cultural context, I suppose.
Depends on how it was done. I'd have to see it.
But it would depend on how it was done. Because, like I said, you really can't... I mean, Darren McGavin in that was just such a great character.
We've also been watching the fucking Logan's Run television.
Yeah, we've been
series.
rewatching the Logan's
Run. We saw
Run.
like 4 episodes of it because I got them all on DVD. I got the collector's edition. It's good. It's good. Same writing from Star Trek, the original series, and I think some of the writers also did Twilight Zones and shit like that.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of the same writers worked on
the first disc, which is like the first like 4 or 5 episodes, is kind of derivative. You can tell they're just trying to cover the bases, you know what I mean, before they get into the crazy shit. Because I remember it being a lot better in certain ways, but. What's funny is that the series that were in the first disc, I thought they were at the end of the series They find the alien spaceship. No, it's at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So I got so once I get through the other discs, I'll be able to fucking get an accurate view of it. I just I didn't remember the order in which the stories had happened.
I had forgotten that the episode based on The Most Dangerous Game had fucking Mary Warrenov in it, for heaven's sakes. And the one with the alien, what was it called? The Collectors? The one with the aliens that were picking up people from the zoo, for the zoo and stuff. That had Leslie Parrish from The Great Spider Invasion. Because I saw her, Giant Spider Invasion. Yeah. And because I saw her face and I was just like, isn't that because her hair's a lot different? I was like, that looks like, and then I heard her voice and I was like, oh yeah, she was.
Then there's one episode where they break into a damn vault. It's like an underground vault, like a vault tech, and they got a girl living in there, pretty young 19-year-old girl living with robots, and it turns out she was in a psychic. It was a psychic vault where they were teaching psychic abilities.
She just had some carry powers.
Yeah, and she's got psychic abilities, and she falls in love with Logan and tries to steal him away from Jessica. And
it's a whole thing.
The girl is played by the same woman that played Jenny in fucking Beverly Hills Cop.
And was also in Leviathan.
And also in Leviathan.
From 1989, which we just talked about the other day.
Yep.
So there you go. Small world, isn't it? I had forgotten she was in that.
What else they saying?
Cody from the 90s. Hey guys, love the show. Been listening since 2019.
Oh shit, man.
I hardly ever listen live. It's always after the fact. Thanks for making the workday go by with great topics and conversations.
Yeah. That was the idea
Keep
of
up
the show.
The great work. Well, thank you very, very much. Like I said, we initially just started this way the fuck back in 2016. Ooh, we're almost at the 10th anniversary.
Almost, yeah.
I mean, almost.
Can't believe it. Can't believe that it's been that long, but I guess it has.
Yeah. We didn't even think about it, really.
Yeah. DVD Dragon asked.
We just kept doing it.
Asked me, Tom, if they redid Smoking the Bandit, who would play the band? Who would who could you use to replace fucking
Burt
Reynolds? I'd have to think about it.
Burt. I'm not real sure.
You have to understand, Burt was. Those movies were made out of a. They're made out of a studio in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, most of the movies that he was in, and they were Southern movies made for the Southern audience, and they didn't really release nationally. There wasn't a national release when they came out. Now they got released. They did well, so they released them on cable, and that's how most people saw them.
That's how I saw them.
Yeah, on cable. Burt Reynolds is a Southern action hero. He's original man of action, okay? There's not... He was of my dad's generation, and he was about as cool as you could be and be Southern from my dad's generation, all right? He was born in Michigan, but his parents were from Georgia, and they were in the military, and he was born on a military base. And then he came back and was actually mostly raised in Florida. I think it was up near the Panhandle.
Yeah, he's mostly Florida man.
He's most of a Florida man.
Florida man.
But the Florida Panhandle, Mississippi, and Alabama, and Louisiana, and Tennessee are all basically the same country. It's all basically the same culture and everything.
I mean, pretty much.
And he's just a Scots-Irish Southern guy, So you can't replace him with a generic dude. He's got to be from the South to have the fucking cred. If you're gonna revive that fucking character, he's got to be a Southern guy. And I don't think there's anybody in Hollywood right now from the South.
Well, I mean, I don't really know.
It's like that. These were independent movies.
I don't have the broad knowledge of.
So that only leaves one
all
option.
The actors.
Only leaves one option. He can only be replaced with me. I will replace that bitch.
You need to grow a much bigger tash.
Grow a fucking tash.
As Johnny Shitcase
I'll put a fucking wig
tash.
on. He was wearing a fucking wig anyway through half the damn movies.
True.
But you gotta be Southern, and you have to have a certain amount of swag.
I could see you in Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah. I'm a little old for Smoking the Bandit. But he did a lot of cool movies, man. Malone, Sharky's Machine was the shit.
We went through a whole thing where we reviewed a bunch of Reynolds movies.
Fucking.
We just got a wild hair.
Yeah, I went on a fucking Reynolds. I grew up with it, but I wanted to go back and see it with adult eyes.
Yeah.
You can watch most of it for free on YouTube.
Yeah, they got most of that shit.
They got White Lightning. I would start with that. White Lightning and Gator, which is about Gator McCluskey. It was kind of like...
Yeah, one's a sequel of the other one.
Yeah, he's like the Mississippi James Bond. Which is going to mean he's an ex-con.
They're like moonshiners.
He's an ex-con, and he's fucking trying to crack a case, and he's going to report it to the feds, and his parents don't really like him working for the feds, but, you know, he's got to do what he's got to do. He's trying to avenge his brother's death.
Well, and the thing about it is that a lot of his other movies, because I kind of feel like a lot of people maybe, you know, back in the day just mostly knew him from Smokey and the Bandit and like Cannonball Run, which were comedies, but I kind of feel like a lot of his other movies were serious. I mean, there was humor in them, but they were mostly like pretty serious.
Well, he was kind of a charming character. He'd have comedic outbursts.
Yeah.
You know, but
like there was funny shit in it, but they weren't comedies. I wouldn't call I wouldn't call Gator or White Lightning, I wouldn't call those comedies. No. There was funny shit in there, but
action
they weren't
adventure.
Comedies. Yeah,
action
they
adventure.
Were like action movies,
and they were very southern. I mean, stealing your buddy's girlfriend because you're not gonna marry her and you're not being good to her, and fucking, you know, and you're.
He was real slick about it.
Just all kinds of slick shit, and then you want to fight over that.
He didn't steal her. I mean, she pretty much she pretty much was like, "Hey, want some food, and also can I jump on your dick?"
Yeah, and she said she lost her virginity at 9.
Yeah.
Remember that? And she was fucking came out of the damn fucking the unwed mother's home.
That's right.
She had all that kind of weird background, and he's like, "What the fuck, really?" You know. But you know, she was cute, so he was, you know. Yeah. Yeah. But that was the kind of shit that you'd run into in Mississippi in the in the underclass, in the poor working class of Mississippi. Was kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of everybody had that same backstory.
It was ghetto, but it was country ghetto.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to what we were saying about the Night Stalker reboot, Philomena Nosferatu said yes, he was Lestat. That's what I thought. I thought I knew that name.
Who?
The guy that Stuart Townsend, the guy that was in the Night Stalker reboot. Yeah. Stuart Townsend.
Yeah.
It only lasted.
I actually liked Vampire Lestat. Certain elements of it I liked about Vampire.
Queen of the Damned, you mean?
Queen of the Damned, yeah.
It could have been a good movie. Unfortunately,
they kind of fucked it up in certain areas, but there were certain elements I liked about it. Like I liked the music videos that were made around it.
Yeah. There was some good shit about it. I think we reviewed it like a while back.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
It could have been really good, but
it could have been.
They tried to put too much shit in.
Yeah, they tried to cram two huge novels into one. Like, why the fuck would you do that? I don't know.
I should have just straight up done Vampire Lestat.
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't just do that.
Yeah.
Because that's mostly where it came from. But I don't know. It was just a big misfire. But he said it only lasted about 12 episodes and got canceled. Apparently, it was supposed to be extremely serious. See, now...
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
Kolchak is not...
Because Kolchak is not really that... It's not a comedy, but it's not really supposed to be taken seriously either.
It's an adventure.
Like, Kolchak is like a very quippy, very cynical character.
Yeah.
And he always has these kind of like off the cuff, like sort of
he kind of
sardonic kind of
makes
comments.
Fun. He kind of makes fun of the shit that he just saw.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you saw a fucking lizard underneath the ground, a man-sized lizard.
Right.
Trying to fucking
as you do.
Trying to steal back an egg.
Yeah.
You know, it's just weird shit like that. Lizards are eating people. Subterranean lizards.
And the lizards weren't even, they were like running around in the fucking building.
Yeah.
And like everybody knew about it. It's like, hey, he goes down the hall and there's like a big like lizard guy. Looks like I was going to say the bottom half sort of looked like a slee stack, but then like his head, but his head then looked like an alligator, but kind of rounded.
Yeah. Like, kind of like a fucking HR Puff and stuff.
Like an HR Puff and stuff alligator is what it looked like.
Yeah, but the idea was they were evoking all this mental imagery that as you went down deeper into the earth, there were more and more of them.
Yeah. Which, you know, okay.
At Earth's core, there was a whole bunch of fucking lizards.
I like that they dug deep. They didn't just use... I mean, the movies... The first one, The Night Stalker, was a vampire, okay? Like, the movie. And then the second one was kind of like... He wasn't really a zombie. He was kind of like a zombie, but he was just like an immortal person, but he had to kill people to stay alive or something like that. I can't really remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. But I like that the series... They kind of dug deep, and so they didn't do really obvious shit. At least the ones we've seen so far. Like, they kind of went into, like, they had, like, one that was, like a Louisiana kind of legend. And they did, like, some ancient Greek shit. And so, like, shit like that. So they didn't do, like, real obvious stuff like, oh, it's a werewolf, or oh, it's a zombie, or something like that. They kind of went... you know, they came up with something weird, like some legend that maybe everybody wouldn't know about, which I thought was kind of neat. CC said, was just watching your review of Night Watch from 1994. I just did that. Tom wasn't on that. Definitely think I'm going to watch it tonight. I really liked it. I've seen the remake too, the American remake. And I remember that being pretty good, although it's been a long time since I've seen it. But, you know, obviously the original is probably going to be better. I didn't love the tonal change at the end. Like, and that one character was, like, annoying as fuck. Although I guess he was supposed to be. But other than that, like, I actually really enjoyed it. Full Metal Nosferatu said, I wish I knew about y'all back in 2016. I only discovered 13 O'Clock early last year with your review of Night of the Demon. That was also me, just me. 1957. And I just kept on listening. Well, we're glad you stuck around. It seems like you've been here longer than that, though.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Because wow, was it like more than a year ago that I did Night of the Demon? It seems like it was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Time, like, moves differently when you're old.
Do you want me to go ahead and give you another?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
I mean, that drink has been sitting there for like an hour and a half,
okay.
So all my ice is melting. Because even though we have AC, it's still Florida, and it's kind of... Ice does not survive. But yeah. Night of the Demon's great. I kind of feel like it's easily one of, if not the best horror movies of the 50s. Because I kind of feel like a lot of 50s horror movies were kind of more sci-fi movies, which is fine, but I'm more a horror girly. So I kind of feel like Night of the Demon was just like a pure horror film. I said in my review that it's like, I'm not sure how I feel about them revealing the demon so early in the movie. Because it's so cool looking. I would have waited. The director didn't want to show it at all. And I don't think I agree with that either.
What?
But in Night of the Demon. Oh. But I mean, the demon itself looks so cool and like looks so creepy, like especially for the 50s. I was like, I think I would have waited and showed it till the end. I would have left it like super ambiguous, like, oh, is the demon real? Like, is he just imagining shit? Like, I would have left it like that, and then at the end, woo, there's the demon. But it's like, no, they show the demon like almost at the beginning, and I was like, I don't know if I would have done that. But that's really like the only criticism I have about that movie. It's great. It's actually based on that fucking really famous story, Casting the Runes, based on that story, which has been adapted a few times, but that's kind of the most famous one. Let's see. Tammy says that Tom Hardy should play the Burt Reynolds role. No. It's like, hey, if you see Lawless, he can play Southern.
Yeah, but he's got to be a real Southern dude. It's just... I mean... That was Burt Reynolds' superpower, is that he was Southern. So you got to find a Southern guy who's kind of like that. And boy, it'd be hard to find out of fucking millennial generation or Gen Z. You know, you'd have to go Gen X, which is kind of old for that. But that type of guy is kind of extinct. I don't know. He'd be one in a million. But Burt was kind of, I don't know, hard to say. Burt wasn't one in a million. They had a lot of guys that were like that.
Well, especially back then.
Back in those days.
I kind of feel like he was almost like the 70s prototype. It was like a factory was making them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were copying that.
Yeah.
What's funny is they had guys in California trying to copy that.
My dad kind of looked like that back in the 70s. He had much longer hair though, but he had that mustache. He had that dark hair.
Yeah.
Those terrible shirts.
Yeah.
With the collars.
Well, he didn't wear that all the time. No, it was just it was just that was the time in which he appeared.
That's just what it reminds. Everybody is wearing that.
For me,
not his fault.
I think his I guess his style was kind of cast from the movie White Lightning. And in White Lightning, he's just pretty typical working class Mississippi guy in prison. That's where he starts. He's a convict. His brother gets killed by a crooked sheriff. And the feds are trying to figure out, the feds kind of know that the sheriff did it, but they don't have the proof. So they cut a deal with Gator McCluskey, that's what his name is, that they'll let him out early. He only had like a year left on his sentence anyway. They let him out early if he investigates it and gets the goods on that sheriff. So he kind of ends up doing some James Bond shit. He even He even seduces a fucking librarian, okay, or an office worker.
What's wrong with librarians?
Well, she was like stereotypical kind of nerdy.
I would seduce a librarian.
But he liked her. There's all kinds of funny shit that happens in the movie. Him trying to get the goods on this crooked cop. And there's some Southern cultural fucking problems and shit. You know what I mean? Like the feds that are asking him to do it are Yankees. And they have real New York accents and shit like that. And his parents are telling him he's really doing the wrong thing. Working for the feds. Even though he's trying to fucking he's trying to fucking send the dude who murdered his brother to prison. But that was just the way the South was. The old South. It's not like that so much anymore. But my dad's generation and her father's generation, the worst thing you could ever be is a Yankee. They fucking hated.
They used to bitch about that constantly.
They hated Northerners.
My dad probably still does.
Yeah, they probably still
I
like
haven't
that.
talked to him in a while.
My dad never quite accepted them. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad was just like that. And according to my sister, he is still like that kind of, because she visited him a couple, like last time she was here, or the time before, but I haven't seen him in a while. Like he lives in, where does he live? He lives where I used to live, but not quite. You know what I mean? Like a little bit north of there.
It's a very special culture here.
Shinotaro says he was a Playgirl centerfold. Yeah, ironically enough, we were just talking about that at the bar the other day. I don't remember how the subject came up.
Yeah, my mom had that issue.
But we were talking about that issue, which I don't know. I've seen the picture.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever saw that actual magazine.
That my mom had that issue of it, and she kept it for fucking decades. A lot of people, it was like a collector's item.
Well, because it was a famous person.
Yeah, and Elvira's in it.
Yeah.
Fucking not as Elvira, but as herself.
Cassandra Peterson.
Yeah, in a fucking boy-girl scene. And she's cute, but with them Cassandra Peterson. She's cute, but I went back and looked at it. There's not really impressive by today's standards. But, yeah, she looked good.
Yeah.
And she's a redhead in it.
Well, yeah, I think she's naturally a redhead. Or, I mean, at least she dyes her hair red. I'm not really sure. I always thought she was a natural redhead. Like that Elvira. Elvira, that's a wig. I mean,
yeah, but very tame. Very, very tame.
Well, yeah, I mean...
But it is standards.
Yeah. I mean, now you can just see, like, any weird-ass thing you want to see.
Yeah.
In 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to see porn of, like, this really extreme fucking thing, or bizarre thing.
I want to see a donkey fucking a monkey. Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's, like, 50,000 videos of it. Yeah. Knock yourself out.
Not even any people involved.
I mean, there's something kind of wonderful about that. It's also kind of horrifying, but, whatever. It's just the way shit is now. You just gotta deal with it. CB says a horror film like Halloween was more scary because you didn't see blood everywhere. Yeah, and look, I'm like I like gore, okay? I like gory films, I like slasher movies, I like all that kind of shit. Mostly gory movies, I kind of find them hilarious, mainly. But movies that are scary to me don't necessarily have to have all of that stuff. You know what I mean? You don't need to have gore, like, for shit to be scary. In fact, if you have too much gore, I kind of feel like it's not scary as much because it's just too much. You know what I mean? Papa77 said, I found you guys about 8 months ago. I watched the show on the Green River Killer, and you told me things I didn't know about him. So I checked your other true crime shows and stayed.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I do, like I said,
Jen puts a lot of work into
I'm sure I mess things up sometimes, but it's like I don't have as much time as I would like usually, like to do research into the show.
Working other jobs.
Because I have a couple other jobs, but I really do try, and I try to get everything right. But if I don't, I apologize. But I really do try not to fuck anything up.
The main goal, and this is what me and Jen wanted to do from the very beginning. Strangely enough, people. And I had people, why's that motherfucker on the show? The show was my idea.
Yeah.
The show was my idea.
It was.
Jen was working for a company. I said, Jen, we got to get you working from home. This is years ago. Because I was an independently contracted salesman after I got out of the military. I liked working for myself. And she kept getting laid off. She'd get a good job and then lay her off. Or the company would fold.
I'd work there for like a year or two,
Yeah.
and then they would go under, and like.
And I was like, Jen, you gotta start your own business. And going out on your own is rough when you've never done it on your own.
I mean, it's still kind of rough. It's not.
It's more stressful.
It's very stressful.
Yeah, because you don't have. But the thing is, though, is you think, well, you don't have all the security. Well, you didn't have security with those companies either.
That's kind of how I thought about it. I was like, why didn't I have security before that?
There was no security there.
Because it's like you never knew. It's like, hey, business is going under. Yeah. Sorry. You know what I mean?
So I said, we gotta get you writing books, because I knew she had written some stuff, but it never really got it widespread published. And I said, we do this show, and through that, we put out your identity as an author and your books, and fucking we can have guests, and we'll just sell merch, and it'll go from there. We just kind of just followed whatever the market. We had some false starts. It's just like anything else. You know what I mean? Like, you come up with these ideas, but they don't actually work. Yeah. So you just stop doing that.
Yeah. We've tried lots of different things.
We've tried a lot of different stuff, but this was originally my idea. Mm-hmm. And then Jen was like, okay. And then after she started doing it, she goes, oh, yeah. And really what helped is live stream. When YouTube came out with a live stream feature, we started trying it after about a month after it came out. That made a big difference. The show became much easier to do. Because I had experience doing live performance, like in theater. Because I was a drama kid. And live streaming is so much easier than fucking canned recorded shows, if you ask me. Because you get audience feedback. Yeah. And I know who y'all are. I see your names. I can talk to you. And fucking, so I know the temperature of the audience. And same thing with Jen. She knows we got a what's called a warm audience. So it makes it so much easier to tell a story.
It is much easier. Because for a long time, up until we didn't do live streaming until episode 200. Like we did that for like special, and that it was going to be a one-off because I was like terrified.
It was so easy after that though, man.
But like the first time I was like so nervous because I'd never like live streamed before. I'm like, what if I fuck up? I'm gonna say because you know when we were recording shit before, like if I fucked up, I could just take it out. You know what I mean? Like I just take it out of in the editing.
She edited it out.
But if I forgot a fact or something and I had to go look something up or something like that. But it turned out being so much easier, and honestly, like not having to do all that editing on the back end. Like I still do, because I do my own videos. I do movie and book reviews on my own, and then I also have 2 other channels. I also have Scare Salon where I do horror stuff, like mostly longer form horror stuff, and I also have a crime channel. I don't post on there all that much, maybe like once a month, if that, because I just don't have a lot of time. So those I have to edit, but still, it's minimal editing. I mean, when you see, like, my movie reviews that I do on Scare Salon or even on here, like on my Flickers of Fear series or whatever, that is minimal editing. Like, basically, all I will do is, like, if I sneezed or said too many times or something like that, that's all I take out. Like, other than that, it's, like, just... Yeah. I just kind of, like, off-the-cuff talking.
But, Jen started off kind of like shy and unsure of herself, and very quickly, especially when live shows started, she just fucking blossomed. I already knew she had all the talent because I had been involved with talented people in theater going back since I was a fucking teenager. My other ex-girlfriend, she ended up becoming famous, Marilyn Rice Cup. That's my ex-girlfriend. So I can spot talent. And as soon as we cut her loose on the live shows, I was like, she's a natural at this. And then she started getting better and better. And her writing is really good, too. So it's kind of funny. It was just we're kind of in the right place at the right time. This is the way technology's going. This is the way the entire industry's going. Without modern technology, streaming, self-publishing, and everything else, and social media, without that, we never really would have been anything. It would have been a lot more stale, stagnant. And then you'd have had everybody fucking channeled down, only a few fucking producers, you know what I mean? People, just a few writers, Now everybody's out there, and everybody has to compete. And we're happy. We're doing good. We do okay. Now, we don't do this full time. Yeah. We have other income streams, because everything's democratized. And that's the way most people are that do this. Only the very top 5% really can make a living off of streaming
Yeah,
and doing
despite
shows.
what you might think, like making money from a YouTube show is very
you
difficult.
don't make that much. But the thing is, though, is that
it's like a side gig.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like doing it,
and you get a lot of cred for it. You get good street cred. You meet a lot of people. But you cannot live off of this unless you're the top 10% at least, 5% maybe. Because it's like, you fucking, on all the shit that you're doing, if you combine it, you're making $1,500 a month on there. That's not enough. $1,500, that's nothing, especially for two people.
You can't live on that.
But you can make about $1,500 a month if you're fucking really, if you got a bunch of shit to sell, books and stuff, and you're doing side stuff. It goes from that, and then the next move up is you're making millions of dollars. And that's the top 5%, you know what I mean? Fucking, I think Tim Pool makes several $1 million a year just streaming. You don't even think he sells anything.
Well, like I said, that's like just the top, and
Just
you have to
top.
have like millions of subscribers.
You have to have millions of
and we only
subscribers.
have like what 16,000 or
16,000
something like that, which is like nothing.
That's average. Yeah.
So, I mean, probably 85% of my income actually comes from freelancing.
Yeah,
from
graphic design. Yeah.
which is what I do most of the time.
Yeah.
What I do pretty much all day, every day, when I'm not doing stuff for this show.
Yeah.
You know. But that's why I kind of
real work is still the best earner.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much. And like I said, that's still difficult. I do have a good pool of clients that are reliable that I can count on for however much, like every month. And I have one like main client who I mostly work for, not really full time, but like almost. You know what I mean?
If you look at the numbers, the averages here in the United States, for women, the breadwinner is office work. And that's basically what she's doing. But her office is here at the house. For men, it's tradesman stuff. They're running backhoes, fucking they're linesmen. They're fucking building houses, doing roofing. Not so much college degrees. There's not enough of those guys. And the money isn't quite there because you get a college degree, the motherfuckers are office workers. Most of them. They're not really making that much. They got dudes out there running backhoes making fucking $90 an hour running a backhoe on a construction site. That's fucking great money, man.
More than I've ever made.
Yeah, if I was
significantly more.
If I was a young man right now in my 20s, I'd be in some kind of trade school, in construction.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of always...
That's where the money in the future is.
There's always a demand for that.
Yeah. All this bullshit about you going to college and working in an office and making fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. No. Some will, but not most guys will. The numbers there are in construction. That's really where it is. Or things like trucking. I could never be a trucker. I was a soldier, but I couldn't be a trucker. And fucking the closest thing to a soldier in the civilian world is either a trucker or a dude working in a kitchen because it's fucking miserable. It's about endurance, dealing with shit. You know what I mean?
You'd be gone.
But I have a lot of respect for fucking long haul truckers, man.
And you'd probably meet a lot of serial killers.
Yeah. Those dudes fucking, they live a rough fucking life, and it's also like a subculture, and it's not physically rough, but it's fucking mentally just driving. It's just a monotony.
It's just tedious.
Monotony, yeah. And but there's something kind of macho about it. I understand it.
I can understand why someone would want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I've thought about it. I don't really want to drive, like, a huge truck because that would be scary. But, like, and doing it as a woman by yourself, that would probably be no bueno. But,
I think they got a few women that do it.
They do.
Yeah.
I know. But I'd be, like, fucking terrified for my life, like, all
You're
the
away
time.
from
Like I said,
home.
because a lot of them are... There's a lot of serial killers that are truckers.
Actually, I think a female trucker would probably be well protected. The other truckers would probably protect her pretty fucking well.
I would hope so.
Especially if she's well known.
But, well, the thing about
And
it
you'd
is,
have
like...
a gun. You're in the United States. You'd have fucking guns with you.
Well, I definitely would.
You'd have all
I
kinds
would
of
have
guns.
more than one.
Yeah.
If I was doing that.
Yeah.
But I can see why it would be appealing because I'm the kind of person that it's like when I'm working, I don't really like... I like to just be left to my own devices.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get the shit done when I get it done. I'll do it. You don't gotta hover over me. You don't gotta, You know, I don't need supervision. So I can see why that's appealing to some people. Because you're just, like, out on the road. But as long as you get the fucking work done, people leave you alone. And I really like that. So I get it.
Me coming out of the military as ex-infantry and shit, who was calling me the most, aside from security contracting, and fucking companies like BlackRock would call me every now and then. You done flipping burgers? You gonna come back and do what you're meant to do? That kind of shit. Man. Anyway, the company that or the business that was, or let's say the career that was really calling me was offshore oil rig work.
Yeah, that pays pretty good.
Man, it pays a lot of money, and fucking there's a lot of dudes like me out there doing it, but I did not want to be away from the fucking land and nightclubs. And at the time, I was married to my first wife. You know what I mean? You're going to leave your wife behind for 1 month on and 1 month off and shit like that. You know what I mean? And you trust your wife, but, you know, come on, a month is a month.
I would miss you.
Especially when you're young. It wasn't you. It was, my first wife.
No, I know. But I'm like, if you did that now, it's like I would miss you.
Yeah. Older guys, I think, and older couples can deal with it. But fucking people in
like,
their
I'm
20s,
not going to fuck around or anything like that.
Yeah. You got a gorgeous wife who's fucking 23 and shit, and you're gone a month at a time and everything. Fucking, and you're sending her all the money back. There ain't no telling what that she might do. You know what I mean? Fucking, and, just humans are humans. But... especially when they're in their 20s,
Cody from the 90s says, you guys should check out the Pazuzu Algarad case. It takes place about 45 minutes from the town I'm in. It's crazy. We've always thought it would make a really good show.
Pazuzu, that was from fucking...
that was the demon from The Exorcist.
That was the demon from The Exorcist.
I wrote it down, though. It down. I'll put it in the topic list. And we'll put it in one of the upcoming polls. I saw something that I wanted to address. Where did it go? Oh, DVD Dragon said, people ask me why I finally got into true crime from listening to Jenny. I have to sit them down and tell them, you see, Jenny's love of true crime is very different than that of a square. The lights went out.
Yeah, it's doing its thing again.
Yeah, those lights are kind of being...
last a couple years.
The weird thing about it is that they're all
there we go.
Like on a circuit.
Yeah, they all...
So like there's one in our bedroom...
Yeah.
That like starts freaking out, and then that one right there starts freaking out, because sometimes I'll come in here in the middle of the night in the bathroom and that one's just like flicking all different colors.
Yeah.
And then the one in the bedroom is doing that too.
It seems like if you plug it back in, it resets.
It's super weird.
Yeah.
Case and Lee is here, says, I like watching true crime documentaries, but not horror movies.
Yeah.
I like both of those things.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments. They're commenting their asses
I don't know
off
if it's the same reasons or not, but anything that's like, I don't know. I know Tom gets like kind of upset like when I watch 6 hours of true crime documentaries in a row.
It gets to me, yeah.
But I mean, it gets to me too, but not so much that I want to turn it off. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what it is. It bothers me, but it doesn't bother me. If that's not weird to say. It's hard to explain. You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't fucking bother me that much. Full Metal Nosferatu, Jenny, great news today. My stepson and his girlfriend graduated from art college today. Can you give a shout out to Brandon and Marina? Ooh, congratulations, you guys. Congratulations to Brandon and Marina. That's pretty awesome. Ooh,
man, that thing's fucking up again.
It went out again. It went out again.
Where's my fucking... There it is.
There's my fucking thing. But yeah, seriously, congratulations, you guys. That's awesome.
Hold on. What is wrong with this thing?
I don't know. It's an electronic thing. Those are the older ones.
Yeah.
So they kind of start glitching out after a little while.
I'm going to take this light
and put it over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Tom's going to engineer some lighting in the background. He's the lighting technician.
Yeah.
CB said, I started watching serial killer documentaries so I know who to look out for, especially with the type of bars and clubs I go to. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of good to be aware. But the thing about it is that from my years of watching true crime shit, not just about serial killers, but just about regular ass murders, in a lot of ways, there's kind of no telling. This is why you can't trust anybody. Nobody. You never know. You know what I mean? Especially as scary are those ones that are like, you know, I married a killer or something like that. Like because there's a whole subgenre of those. And it's just like this whole, he seemed so fucking normal for like years and years. And then all of a sudden, You know what I mean? Like, he flips out and starts killing people. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Straw Dog said, I worked on a wind farm. You get a lot of per diem working on offshore.
What's a per diem?
Per day?
Oh, per day. Okay.
Yeah. That's what they call it.
I thought a per diem was like something in between your ass and your fucking nuts.
No, that's your perineum, I
Perineum.
think. Or your taint.
Your taint, yeah.
if you prefer the colloquial term.
You think that's just funny? I'm going.
I do think that's funny. Well, it's just every time you say the word, like when you talk about religion, every time you talk about fundament, I'm like, it's like that. Are you talking about your taint, your butthole? That sounds like that. I don't know why I associate those two things.
Look at that light, fucking, and now it's vibrating.
I know. The light's vibrating.
The light's vibrating.
Shinichara says, isn't Korn playing Orlando today?
Who knows?
I wouldn't know. Oh, our friend Tony would know. He's like the world's biggest Korn fan.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You would have thought he'd be posting all over social media about that shit. Our friend Dawn went last weekend and saw The Damned.
Yep. And she's not coming out tomorrow.
She said they were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to save money. Well, and also because tomorrow night is Memento Mori.
Yeah.
And not 80s. So.
Yeah, she says, I'm going to save my money. I don't like that music.
Yeah, she doesn't like the Memento.
And so we just go to hang out. I was trying to fucking like, come on,
sure,
hang
like...
out with us. Come on, hang out. No.
She's going to think we're sexual predators.
Yeah. Well, you keep making out with her.
Well, shit happens.
She says you're irresistible.
Well, I am. I can't do
anything.
anything.
You didn't even drop her a message.
I can't even do anything about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's so fucking cute. I mean, I did answer and she's fucking like that. I'm like, get her back to the car, Jen. Get her back to the car. I got the phone ready.
I think I did get drunk and like ask her before, but
you asked her to go back to the car.
Yeah, but
what
I think
she said
I don't think she said anything. I was like, I think I'm probably scaring the crap out of her. Honestly, I'm seriously, I'm not a predator. I promise.
Yeah, she is. She likes you. She goes to fucking do her thing. You know, I mean, it's she likes girls.
I mean, you know,
she likes women. Yeah.
I don't like to be too overbearing. But...
It's in the moment.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, you know, I'm drunk, she's drunk,
we're
all drunk, you know what I mean? Like, shit happens.
Yeah, I understand it.
I didn't, like, just start anything. Like, she was reciprocating, so it wasn't
she's
like...
She's got away with women, man. She's got, like, 2 or 3 of them she's fucking working on. They're all our age.
I don't think of it as working on them.
Yeah.
I just think of... We're all out.
She's like, she didn't come say hi. And I says, yeah, welcome to the wild world of women. That's how they are. Like, she was giving you action last time you saw her. Now she's pretending like you don't exist. That, you know, go over there, fucking grab her ass or something. Go do something to her. You know?
I don't like being, like, really, like I said, overbearing.
Yeah. They get, you know, they're doing what they do in the moment. Yeah. The moment changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing is they might think that you're looking for like a relationship and fucking that you're gonna fucking roll her over into me, that kind of shit. So you know what I mean. So
well, now see, that's kind of what I wonder about. And it's just
they don't know
like...
what's happening. Yeah, because I'm not interested in that way. You know what I mean? She's taken care of in the men department. She can have her own girlfriend she wants as long as I like her. You know what I mean? I don't have to sleep with her.
Yeah, Tom's not.
I'm not really into like
he's
that.
not like scamming.
As long as I can see, as long as I can watch, I'm gonna hang out.
He kind of wants to watch it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to get involved necessarily.
Yeah, we all go out to dinner afterwards, you know. Whatever. As long as we're cool together. As long as she's the main rule is as long as she's not trying to break us up.
Yeah,
see, that's all it is.
That would be bad.
Yeah,
but I never got that vibe. Like I said, and I think that's kind of why. It tends to end up with more, you know, other than Scott's friend, who is young. But other than that, it's most of them are like our age. Yeah. Because they know the deal.
Now, some dudes are like probably in there in there going, but Tom, don't you get jealous or whatever? No, I don't. And they're like, aren't you afraid this? No, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm old. I've been around. I know Jen. And nobody's breaking up. You know, or anything.
No,
you know, it's just
he knows I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, and
I'm not going anywhere.
We don't take this shit that seriously.
I'm not going anywhere.
It's just it's all fun and games.
I just like making out with girls. Sometimes.
Yeah, just like making out with girls. Yeah,
I'm not going any place.
I watch that and be like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, let me get my camera. You guys
And
look,
and
the thing is that you all look so cute together. Oh, that's awesome.
He loves it.
Yeah, I like this shit.
He just thinks it's hilarious. But
Yeah.
but I mean, and the thing about it is like I have zero interest.
Yeah.
I mean, you've never even seen me like express the slightest whiff of interest in like making out with another dude because I'm just not interested. It's not interesting to me.
Yeah, well, you have to understand that, you know, you have to. Some people are like, wait a minute, how could that be? Look, women have fucking very difficult and kind of like high standards.
I don't think that's.
You could have a good-looking dude, and if that dude just moves the wrong way or says the wrong thing, they're fucking through with that guy. They're like,
well,
fuck
yeah,
that dude.
Because it has to be a whole vibe. It doesn't even really matter.
Yeah.
Like if they're good-looking, it helps.
Yeah.
But that's not really the main criteria.
In my experience, women are more forgiving of other women. Like they're not real physically oriented towards dudes. They're like, well, he's got this fucking look and I'm gonna fuck him because of the way he looks. They're not really apt to do that so much with guys. They're more apt to do that with girls. Like, I love her tits. She's fucking great. She's cool. I'm gonna fucking get on her. I'm gonna do that. And it's just sometimes women kind of act towards other women the way men do, but they can get away with it easier because
we're not threatening.
They're not as threatening, and
we're not going to kill you or nothing.
Yeah, and a lot these women are basically bi women or straight women who fuck around, and they're not really looking for a relationship. They're not trying to steal her from her boyfriend, or they're not trying to have an exclusive relationship where she can't date anybody else. The girls aren't like that.
Yeah.
They just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And they want to be friends. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's not quite the same thing as the dynamic between male and female. Because if she starts doing this with the dude's going to want a relationship.
Well, of course.
He's going to want to fucking plant his flag on it.
Yeah.
Women aren't like that.
No.
So when you're a guy, you cannot judge a woman's actions by men's standards. Especially when they're dealing with other women. It's not the same.
No.
So what I'm saying to y'all dudes is that for most of the time, if you got a good relationship with your woman, other women are not a threat. They're not a threat to your relationship. She's not trying to leave you for that other girl.
No. Like I said, I would never do that.
She's trying to supplement, have some fun on the side. That's
I wouldn't leave you for anybody.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a good time, and like I said, it's not. I wouldn't go off and do shit by myself anyway.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Me and Jen will fuck around. We kind of have before, but we don't do it on our own.
No.
It's always a couple thing.
Yeah, we've always, like, anytime we've done anything like that, it's always together.
I was fucking talking about, I was on fucking X one time. And this was like about a week or so back. And they had all these white dudes upset over these interracial relationships with these fucking black dudes and these white girls. And black dudes are in there like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm going like, yeah, I said, you have to understand, I'm telling the brother, you have to understand these are young dudes that probably never had a woman. Okay? They don't really understand women at all. All right?
Well,
women sleep with whoever they like. Really, it doesn't matter what race they are or anything, as long as they like them.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. What is the problem with these? Why are they so hung up on that? Because you see, they're a minority race, so they have more access to people other than black people. Because you know what I mean, they're outnumbered. So their view of the situation isn't quite the same. It's not unusual to be in an interracial relationship if you're a black guy, because there's more non-black women than there are black women. Like every black dude me and Jen knows is with a white woman or a Hispanic woman.
Yeah.
Because there's more of them. Every black woman we know from the from the scene,
statistically.
It's statistics. Every black woman we know in the goth scene is with a white guy.
Well, like I said,
statistically, that's who she's going to be.
And we're in the goth scene, which statistically is much smaller.
It's a smaller scene.
And has a smaller percentage of black people or people of color.
Right.
So,
there's a lot of Hispanics.
There are a lot of... Well, it's in Florida.
In Florida.
It is, yeah.
It's about half and half.
So... Yeah, you're probably going to end up with a white person.
You're going to end up with a white person or a Hispanic person.
Or a Hispanic person.
No matter what your race is.
Because that's mostly what the scene is in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, there's a significant, like, a small minority.
You're right.
Of black people, but not that many.
Yeah, so I was talking to brother on fucking X. I said, and another thing these dudes aren't factoring in is how many of these women have actually fucked around with couples. Because there's a lot of that going on too.
Sure.
And he's like, oh yeah, they don't understand this shit because he'd be at the club and they'd be sneaking off a fucking couple and some chick and they'd have a threesome in the damn bathroom at the club. And then he comes back out and fucking she ends up fucking kissing her fucking the guy she's dating. And I said, yeah. She goes, the shit's scandalous. That's what he said. This is scandalous, but it's kind of just the way it is. It's kind of, and you have a lot of guys, especially who consider them, what I'm noticing now is it's Gen Z guys who are trying to be very kind of conservative. They almost come across as like something like out of Islam or something.
Which, let's not go down that
Whoa,
path,
yeah, but the thing is, I'm reading what they're saying, man, and it's giving me so much virgin energy. Like, these dudes don't know women.
Well, that's what it is.
And they don't know anything about the way people are.
They have some Dunning-Kruger shit going on where it's like they don't know anything, but they're going to talk like
they know what they're talking about.
Even though they've probably never even touched a woman.
Right. They never touched a woman, right.
But they're going to think they know everything because they've watched like some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like with some other dumbass bros talking about
and they're parroting talking points from another dumbass.
Sure. That's exactly what it is.
Has not
it's like a circle jerk of dumbassery.
It's like a circle jerk of dumbassery.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
They never met women in real life. They don't have any female friends. They don't know anything.
Yeah, they say stupid shit like you could never meet a good woman in the club. You could meet like, wait a minute, hold on. What club are you talking about?
Yeah, which clubs are we
What kind of women are you talking? What do you consider to be a good one? There's all kind. No, man, fucking every woman we know at the club, they're not all good, but there's a lot of good women at the club.
They're mostly good though.
Mostly good.
I don't really know. I mean, I guess all the pieces of shit have been winnowed out.
Yeah.
We don't really know anybody that's a piece of shit or a bum or anything like that.
No,
like
I can't think of anybody.
I can't think of anybody. No, I can't.
The only piece of shit was a dude, and he was intermittent, and it was because of what he did to Sonya.
Yeah, and he still kind of comes around.
Everybody knows he's a piece of shit.
But everybody knows he's a piece of shit. But honestly, he's the only person I can think of.
Yeah.
Everybody else is
all the women are okay.
Everyone's fine. Everyone has jobs. Everyone has places to live. No one's bums.
And these dudes are fucking talking.
They're all like pretty stable.
Yeah, and you have these virgin dudes, basically. Virgin young guys. Or low mileage young guys. Basically saying they want a trad wife and that fucking, they basically want a virgin. They want a virgin bride, basically. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea. Have you ever been with a virgin? Do you have any idea what the fuck you're talking about?
No, they don't.
What are you
here's the
talking
thing.
about?
I always feel like these dudes that want trad wives.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you willing to do the trad husband thing?
No, they can't do that.
No,
they can't do that. No.
You're going to support her?
Yeah, they're going to support her.
You're going to give her money to maintain your household just like tradition. Which, fine. If you want to do that, that's fine.
If you got the money.
If that's your choice.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should be forced into that, but if they want to do that, fine. Like, you know what I mean?
That bitch gonna fucking saying, I need help with these bills. You're gonna have to.
It's like, hey, I'm a trad wife.
That's what's gonna happen.
I stay home and raise your kids and take care of your house. That was the deal.
Right.
You have to make enough money to support the whole family. That was the. Right. That was what you wanted, right?
Yeah. The trad.
They want.
Shit,
it's like they piss and moan about feminism and all that other kind of crap, but they want all the trappings of it.
Yeah.
But they just want. They want a woman that'll do whatever they're told is what they want.
I think it's imagination. They're imagining something to be a certain way, but they never really had anything. So that's not the way it is. That's not what you want.
Yeah, Tammy says raise your 15 kids, right?
You don't. Okay, the whole trad wife thing, if you can afford that, great.
And if she wants to do that, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, but some people want to do that.
The chances of that happening for you as Joe Blow on the internet, no.
Very slim.
That ain't gonna happen. You're both gonna have to work.
Yep. I mean, generally.
And if you're both working, then
very few people
be
make
limitations to certain things you have to do because it's just about survival.
Yeah.
You know.
That's all.
Now, I'm an experienced dude. The trad wife situation. If I had some young wife and I'm getting her pregnant, she's had 2 or 3 kids, but she doesn't really have much experience or life outside of the raising the family type situation, I kind of think I'd probably get bored. Like, well, she's not that adventurous. She's watching the kids and
which, I mean, that's a noble pursuit, but it's just not very exciting.
And another thing is that she's not that hot. Now, this other chick over here with the implants and who's doing this and that, who's trying to throw me some ass, who fucking, might need some help paying some bills or something, I could probably swing both of this. And she's more fun. And you guys are going like, oh no, that is what happened.
That's what
That's
happens.
what was mostly happening throughout the trad wife situation.
Yeah, because dudes they think they want that, they get that, and then they're like, wow,
this is work.
Kind of boring.
This is kind of boring. It's also kind of work.
Boring.
And
it is boring.
Yeah, if you go back in time, say 50s or 60s, when trad wife situation was the norm, those dudes fucked around.
Yeah.
Those dudes had mistresses.
Yep.
And it's because the trad wife, they loved her. They had kids with her. She wasn't really sexually exciting, especially after a couple kids. And he might still be making a whole bunch of money. He might still look good. He's still in his fucking early 30s. It's hard for him to fucking say, man, that fucking 19-year-old stripper there, man, fucking who is
or that new secretary
that just came in, Yeah.
I'm gonna get
so, you know what I mean? She's
in the supply closet.
And she's exciting, So, my advice as a fucking 55, almost 56-year-old who's fucking had more mileage than most motherfuckers are ever going to have in his life, my fucking count is big. It's triple digits, okay?
Yeah, he does have a very
What you want is you want a mixture. You want a cool wife who's intelligent, who can fucking work and bring in money and be a partner. And yeah, if you can have a kid together, that's great too. Me and Jen really didn't hook up at the stage of life. We were too old, really, when that happened. You want somebody who's like you, kind of. I wouldn't want her exactly like me. I don't know if I'd trust her.
Yeah, I probably would.
Because a woman who's just like me would probably be a hooker. Okay?
You would totally be a hooker if you were a woman.
Yeah, I'd be a hooker if I was a girl, probably. Because I was a soldier, and soldiering and hooking is the same thing. You're selling your body to old men. If you're a soldier, you're selling your body to old men to kill his enemies or to protect him, to protect his money. If you're a woman, you're selling your body to old men to fuck him, keep him happy on his pedo island. All right?
Sure.
So it's a very similar dynamic.
It is.
And and it's both risky behavior. Okay,
Yes.
that you can get killed doing both of it.
Yes.
It is primal. And they're the oldest professions in the world. Soldiering and hooking. They're very, very similar. Somebody like, what the fuck are you talking about? One's honorable. Yeah, that's the thing that made me uneasy from an early age once I realized the system, is that dudes were being honored, and I was one of them, for doing things that were kind of fucking bad. Women were trying to make dudes happy en masse and get money off of that, and they were treating them like shit.
Well, yeah. It's women.
I saw that shit in
a lot
Korea.
of dudes don't like women.
I saw that
Whatever
shit in Korea.
we do, we're gonna get.
Well, there's an
pissed
expectation a woman's supposed to be a mother and she's supposed to do this and that.
But they don't like that either.
But they don't like that either.
They don't like anything we do.
When I was in Korea, the U.S.
So I just gave up.
When I was in Korea in the 90s, the U.S. Army is being supported by a government-backed army of Korean women that were entertainers to keep the American soldiers away from their good girls. And this is all happening in Itaewon, also known as Hooker Hill. Brothels.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just normal, Looking back on it, I was like, and then I found out that those girls later on were doing slut marches and demonstrations and shit, that they wanted reparations because they couldn't reintegrate into Korean society because the dudes didn't want them.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's fucked up.
Yeah. You felt kind of bad. Like,
Yeah, I
in
felt bad
retrospect. Like, you didn't think about it at the time.
I didn't think about it at the time.
Because it was just everyone was doing it.
It was just another army. It was an army of females that were protecting their people against us.
Yeah.
By keeping us happy. And I was like, those girls got fucked.
They did.
Literally and figuratively. Those girls got fucked.
Yeah, but we watched he showed me a documentary about it.
Yeah. People don't know what I'm talking about. There was military prostitution going on.
Yeah, in Korea.
Yeah.
Where he was stationed.
Yeah, so I have a part of my heart kind of goes out to these Korean girls that were
it's shitty.
doing hard service, really.
Yeah, they got treated bad.
They got treated really bad.
Yeah.
And I was just like, they really weren't doing anything different than we were. We were selling our bodies too. We were just selling our bodies to a war machine.
Yeah.
And we could both get killed doing it.
But same thing.
So after my understanding of that, I always kind of had like a weird fascination with hookers.
Yeah.
But I also had that same fascination with soldiers and elite soldiers and fucking spies, sex operatives. They're all the fucking same thing, really. Different shades of gray of the same thing. So The female arts are different than the male arts, but I respect them just as much, just as dangerous.
Yeah.
The ultimate female warrior is not some chick in an APC with a rifle. The ultimate female warrior is in bed with some dude, and he's the enemy. She's fucking him, and he's telling her everything.
Getting secrets.
She's a spy. A spy is a fucking sex operative. That is the ultimate female weapon. Is to betray the man she's fucking, because he's the enemy.
Yeah.
That's some power there. I don't know how they do it, but you gotta have a hard heart.
I would not be able to do that.
Yeah. But I say that, but I could kill a dude when he was asleep. He's the enemy. You know
I could probably do that.
Machine gunning him through the fucking when they were asleep fucking on the ground and they're fucking hooches and shit. You know what I mean? I could do that, but it's hard to be fucking somebody.
I mean, shooting somebody while they're asleep, that's kind of easy. I could do that.
Yeah.
Especially if you told me, hey, this motherfucker did this, that, and the other.
These are the enemy. Kill him. Kill him now. Before they wake up.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you have to like pretend to like somebody and
you know everything
for a
about
long time,
and you know everything about him,
you have to get him to trust you. You have to like it's difficult.
And he's telling you love him. He loves you.
Yeah, and you have to act like it.
Yeah, and then you sell off all his secrets, and then fucking dudes come and kill him.
And you can't mess up.
Yeah.
Because if you mess up and he gets suspicious, then he could fucking
some James Bond shit. Man.
Yeah, like I can't imagine. Like, it takes some fucking balls to do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to. I can't do it.
I gamed that all out in my head of the psychological damage.
Yeah.
And what that's like to do.
Like I said, because I couldn't do that, one, because I'm super, super bad at pretending I like somebody when I don't.
Yeah.
I'm really bad
But
at
I
have no poker face at all.
The Korean military prostitute was... They weren't in the military, but they were working for the Korean government. Their mission was to keep American GIs away from civilians, and to get every as much money out of his pocket as you can, so you can get that into the Korean economy, and that's what helped Korea become the powerhouse that it is today. If you were to actually go back and measure what those girls were doing, man, it was a significant improvement to Korea that they were contributing. And they treated those girls like shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like I said, anything to do with women and anything to do with women doing sex
for them. Yeah, right.
Everyone just has like the ick about it.
Yeah.
Which is like really stupid.
It's like it's dishonorable. Shit, man. Fucking killing people is dishonorable.
I really wish people would get over that stigma.
Yeah.
It's work like anything else.
As a professional soldier, killing the enemy, there's a certain amount of honor to it, but you also have to understand that dude, most of the time, is a dude just like you.
Yeah.
Okay? He hasn't done anything wrong.
No. Okay. That's what I mean. It's like, the person you're killing, it's like, they might not have done it. He just signed up for shit like you did.
He's got a family and everything.
Right.
And that's just something you got to swallow. To me, it'd be much easier to kill a dude who's done me wrong. Yeah, then I can kill you easy.
Yeah, a lot of people could do that.
Yeah, most people could do that.
Most people could do that.
So you kind of have to... You have to dehumanize people before you're going to kill them. You know, if you're in a military situation, a lot of it is dehumanizing the enemy. Because if you don't dehumanize them, you won't be able to do it.
No, which in a way is kind of encouraging.
Yeah.
That you have to do that.
Yeah.
Because most people would have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's see what everybody's doing.
Oscar says, saw the new Final Destination yesterday. It was pretty good. Yeah, Tom saw the poster for that when we went to see Sinners, and he's like, what's that? And I was like, you've never seen any of the Final Destination movies? Yeah. And he's like, no. And I was like, you would probably really dig them. So I told him, like, what the premise was. I've only seen, like, I saw the first one, and I think I saw the second one, but I haven't seen any ones past that. But, I don't know, maybe I could show you the other ones. I don't think you have to have seen the other ones, like, to see the new ones. Like, I was like, if you get the gist, like, you don't really need to... It's not super complicated. But he might dig it. Because when I told him about it, he's like, I'd probably like that. It's like, I thought you probably might. And I was, like, surprised that he hadn't seen any of them. But you know what I mean. Full Metal Nosferatu says, I have a channel recommendation for y'all. I did write it down. Deliciously Decayed. My friend and his girlfriend visit condemned abandoned locations like hospitals, theaters, factories, etc. across America. Ooh, I love shit like that. We like all kind of like that urban exploration kind of channels. We subscribe to a lot of those. CB says, me and my girlfriend were drinking with a couple, and my girlfriend was making out with the woman, but her husband got pissed when I said no to him fucking me.
Fucking him?
Yeah. Oh, I guess he wanted to get in on it too. Well,
the husband wanted to fuck him, though.
The husband wanted to fuck him, yeah. I mean, getting pissed about it is a little immature, though, I feel. Ben says, I saw...
He thought everybody was available.
I guess.
Yeah.
Ben says, I saw Clown in a Cornfield. It was terrible.
Wait,
That's what I've heard. Clown in a Cornfield.
Kind of cornfield.
I just knew that it was a novel. I can't remember the name of the... what the fuck is the name of the dude that wrote the novel? Because he has a YouTube channel that I've watched, like, reviewing horror books on it, that I've watched on occasion, but I can't remember his name. But I can see his face, but I can't think of what his name is. And I didn't read the book because it didn't really sound like my thing. But I saw some other reviews of it, and I was like, that sounds kind of funny. I don't know if I'll get around to it one of these days. I didn't even know they made it into a movie until recently. But I was like, I don't know. It doesn't really sound like my thing. But if it was free, I may watch it. Talking about earlier, Oscar said, what if she was a hot young thing, Tom?
Wait, well, hold on, what?
Oh, and also he said triple digits is amateur numbers, Tom.
yeah. Okay, Mr. Quadruple Digits, sure.
Okay.
Fucking Oscar, what if she's a hot young thing, Tom? I don't know what Oscar.
That was like a long time ago,
Yeah,
like when you were saying like about the fucking wives and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Tammy pointed out the women were all popping pills. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Understandably, because like I said, you kind of knew what was going on. Your life was drudgery. You knew your husband was fucking around. You couldn't really do much about it. You were just stuck at home with these kids, and it's like you were kind of going crazy.
The thing is, over the years, I've noticed there is a certain type of girl.
Some women love
to
that.
have babies.
Which, like I said, that's fine.
That's who. Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, then more power to you.
Yeah, and
do
usually
it. That's not me. But if you want to do that, you do that.
They're rearing their heads in the fucking high school. They're in high school. They want to have babies.
Yeah.
A lot of times. And some of them do have high school. But
Yeah.
there are some women that are
couple.
just totally wired towards
They
having
just love
babies.
that.
They just want to have babies and babies and babies and babies. And oh wow, look at all the babies. You know,
But to be
Fine.
honest with you,
Yeah,
I didn't
cool.
really meet that many women like that.
they're out there.
But they are out there. I did know a couple that were like super fixated on that.
Yeah.
Most women I knew were kind of ambivalent. They're like, maybe, yeah, it's kind of sounds good, but maybe not. Like, I want to do other shit. You know what I mean? It was kind of that.
Well, we know some professional baby makers too.
But yeah, I
When
did
she'll
know.
have a baby with anybody because it's it's another check. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I do know some people.
She'll have baby from the dude that she's just dating.
Why would you want to do that to your body?
But you know, she's dating the dude. I'm gonna have another baby. Okay, fine.
It's
more money, I guess.
To me, like I said, when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
look, my mom, she loves kids.
Yeah.
She had me when she was 18, and she had me on purpose. She told me, I didn't know this at the time, she had me when she was 18, and she said, I had you on purpose, we got pregnant on purpose because my dad's parents were going to send him to, they didn't like my mom for some reason, and they were going to make him go into the army. They were going to make him, like, enlist in the military, and so so they colluded to get pregnant so he wouldn't go.
That's ridiculous. The army's cool though.
I know, but he didn't want to go either.
Maybe back in those days.
So they kind of this was like early 70s.
Yeah.
It was like Vietnam era.
Yeah.
So so they got pregnant like right out of high school. Actually, I think my mom and dad, they're about the same age. I'm trying to they must have got pregnant while they were in their senior year of high school because I was born in September. The September after they graduated. So she must have got pregnant in high school. And it was funny. I never really thought about it. Like, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, it didn't bother me or anything. But, like, many years ago, my mom, like, said to me, she's like, I just wanted you to know that, like, we had you on purpose. You weren't an accident. And I was like, I thought that was so funny because, like, Mom, that literally has never occurred to me. But I thought that was so sweet that she said that. But it's like, she's like, no, we wanted to have you. Like, we didn't just like oopsie, you know, it wasn't like that. But I was like, that had literally never occurred to me. Because they were always really cool to me. Like my parents were really cool. So.
I was unexpected, but then they're like, okay, we'll have it. But that's just how it is. I think that's how most people are.
Yeah, I think
you get surprised and
you're
like,
oh,
okay,
well,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, my mom and dad, they said they were only 18. They were both 18. They had just graduated high school. They graduated high school in May or June of 1972, and then I was born in September of 1972. Yeah. So she was already pregnant in high school. But yeah, I was like, Mom, that literally never occurred to me. Because I never got that feeling growing up. Yeah. Because my mom told me, because my mom came and visited us for Mother's Day. Because this is the first time she's been to this house. She'd been to our other house in Sanford like many years ago, but she had never been to this house. And she hadn't been out much since, my stepdad died. And she's still kind of getting used to the fact that she can come and go as she pleases. Like, she doesn't have to take care of my stepdad anymore, and like she can do what she wants. Like, she has money, she has a house, so she can do whatever she wants to. And so that's still kind of blowing her mind a little bit. So she was like, we were going back and forth. I was like, well, do you want me to come see you for Mother's Day? Like, I can come see you, or, and all this other stuff. And then I was like, why don't you come here? Like, you've never been here, and, we want you to meet the kiddies, and like Tom can make a nice lunch and all this other kind of stuff. And she was like, oh my God, I would love that. So I was like so excited. And so she finally came here to see the house. And she told me when she was leaving that, she's like, she's like, when I was 18 years old, she's like, I saw these other people having babies. She's like, I want my own baby. She's like, so that's why she got pregnant with me. She wanted her own baby.
Damn.
Because she just saw other people having babies and she wanted a baby. And like I said, I said, fair play to you, Mom. She's very funny because she's very self-deprecating. Because she's like, oh, I messed up and I did this and that. I was like, you know what? It's like, you did good. You did good. You were a baby when you had me, literally. And I don't remember anything bad from my childhood. I really don't. Nothing to do with my parents, anyway. Like, they were always real chill. Yeah. So, I don't remember any trauma. I always remember having a really good like, we didn't have any money.
Okay.
But
that cat running around.
I mean, when I was little, didn't really I don't know, it didn't really impact me all that much.
Look at Bam.
What's that?
Look at Bam.
What
are you doing back there?
Oh,
why is she trying to get back there?
Because she hears something back there.
Yeah.
She does that all the time. I think there's birds. Maybe there's a bird nest or something.
What you got back here?
Bambi today, our kitty.
What are we doing?
So I was working all day. Tom went out, riding, and he went to Oasis and stuff.
Went to the bike bar.
Which we'll talk about in a bit.
Oh yeah, okay.
But so he was gone for a couple hours, and then it's about 4:30 or something like that. It's about time for Bam Bam's dinner, right? Like, I usually feed her about 4. I feed her a couple times a day. Like, I usually feed her about 7:30 in the morning, and then and they have like other like kibbles and stuff like during the day. So I was gonna give her some wet food, and usually, as soon as I pick up the plate and take it in there to wash it and like put new food on it, like, she'll come running and like rub and like, hey, food. So I put new food out and she's nowhere. And I'm like, now that I think about it, where the fuck has she been? Like, usually she comes in the office like, hey, pet, like, she's plopping and stuff. I'm like, where the fuck has she been all day? I'm looking all over the house for her and I can't find her. Like, I look in all her spots, I look in all her hiding spots, I look in all her sleeping spots. I look outside. I look in the garage. I'm like, did she get out, like, trapped out in the garage or something like that somehow? I was like, I cannot find her. I'm like calling her and calling. I'm freaking out. I'm like, did she get out? Did she get run over? Oh my God. I'm like losing my fucking mind. And so I'm going all around the house and I say to Tom, like, he's at the bar. I'm like, I can't find Bam. And like, I'm looking everywhere. And then finally I go in the gym, and for some reason I checked everywhere else, literally. I was like, she must be trapped someplace. So I go in the gym and I open the closet and she pops out the closet. And she's like not even, she just boop. She wasn't upset or nothing. And it's like, so I had to smell it. I'm like, did you pee in here? Because you must have been, because I did not open that closet.
I didn't smell anything.
Tom opened it earlier.
Yeah.
Like, probably, I don't even know what time it was. It was earlier. Early afternoon or late morning.
When she went in there?
It must have been, because you must have opened the door.
No, she went in there probably around 3.
Okay, so it was 3 o'clock.
I left there around 3.
No, it was earlier than that. It was 2.
About 2.
It was like 2:15 or 2:30.
So she was there a couple hours.
Okay, so not as long as I thought.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, there you are. It's like, have you been in that closet like all fucking day? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even call or anything.
A couple hours.
She was just like, hey,
She's
whatever.
probably sleeping in there.
I think she just went in there and fell asleep.
Yeah, sleeping.
She's like, woo, closet.
Yeah, they like that shit.
Well, and Tom's like, I didn't even see her go in there. I'm like, yeah, you got to watch because when I open this closet door right here in this little kitchen like dressing area, she will, if you don't see her because she's done it before, she'll go, whoosh, and she'll sneak in there like in a second, and like you won't even see her, and she'll go back in the corner, and then you'll close the door, and she'll be like, hee hee. And then like 5 hours later, she'll be like, hey.
She thinks it's funny. If she wanted out, she'd have been crying.
That's why I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, she'd have been crying.
But I was like, she was in there. So then we had to go smell in the closet, make sure she didn't like pee or poop in there.
I don't think she did.
I don't think so either. It doesn't smell like anything.
She just went there and went to sleep.
I was like, I can't believe
she's like, oh, I love this. They like being in little places, you know. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, this is great. Yeah, that you know. Got my own room that she went to sleep.
Well, and they always get because that closet door, like we literally never opened that.
Yeah.
He was just opening it because he was looking for something, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we never opened that closet door. So she was like, ooh, new door.
So I go to the Oasis.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went to the Oasis
today.
This is the biker bar, in case you're new here.
And Amy's in there. She's like, whoa! Like that, you know what I mean? How you doing? She's trying to bite my fucking titties and shit.
She's trying to bite your titties?
Yeah. Fucking, it's trying. Everybody's laughing. And she's giving me a drink. And she's asking how you were. Fucking, you know what I mean?
I'll have to get
talking. Yeah, she's missing you.
I just never have time, you know? Like during the week.
Yeah, she's kept trying to fucking take your shirt off. Trying to take my shirt off. And they got all these old women, and I call them old ladies. They're in their 50s. Same age as me, but they look old.
Yeah.
They're just, you know what I mean?
I'm in my 50s too.
And I was just
I don't think of myself.
Yeah, these are like real rednecky, fucking farm girl, fucking rode hard, put away wet 50s. 4 kids, lots of alcohol, and fucking cigarettes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. You know how fucking you hear all these girls talking about how dudes act and all that cat calling and all that fucking sexism and shit and all that fucking what they call toxic masculinity and shit. Y'all are full of shit because women do the same fucking thing.
Well, old ladies do.
Because
they don't give a shit
same
anymore.
Fucking thing.
Well, and they're probably sick of dudes doing it, so they're just like, well, I'm just going to do it back.
Well, no, they only do it to dudes that are hot.
I'm just going to do it back.
They weren't doing it to any of the other dudes. The other dudes were like, fucking, yeah, take your shit off. Yeah.
Well, dudes don't do it to women that aren't hot.
Yeah.
Either, they only do it, so it's the same thing.
Yeah. So that was fucking funny. I did not take my shirt off. I said, she was trying to get more money.
Well, yeah. Amy was trying to get more tips.
Yeah, she's trying to get more tips.
She's the bartender, by the way.
She's the bartender.
She's cool. She lives across the street from us, actually.
Yeah. And she brags, she lived right across the street from me. Like this, like that. Like that, you know. She's fucking funny. She's got big old titties and shit.
Now, who was it that said...
I showed her a video of you fucking with the black wig. That night we did the porn scene and you had the fucking titties like that. I said, look at that right there. She goes, God damn. God
I remember that one.
I licked the shit out of that. God damn, she's hot, man. You need to she's
and
like,
that was like,
why don't you guys fucking call me? Why don't you call me? I'll come over. You know, it's just fucking funny. She's always trying to get in the middle of a Tom and Jenny sandwich.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Fucking these old biker babes, I don't want to call them, they're old farm girls try to fucking buy me a drink. And she fucking hell no.
She's like my gatekeeper when I'm not even there.
Yeah, I was like...
Because she's like, she really likes me. I've only been there like maybe a handful of times.
I didn't know about it.
But she is like super, super into me. And like, so he finds out later...
I found out later.
That like, some old woman, old woman, she's probably my age. Like some woman at the end of the bar like tried to buy him a drink and like Amy said no.
Yeah.
But she didn't tell him about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
Like he found out about it later.
That bitch is gone now. She's trying to buy you a drink. She tried to buy you 4 drinks. I was like, what? Says she could buy me a drink. She goes, oh hell no! Oh hell no! This is why not? She goes, well, first of all, you married. Second of all, she'd be over there talking to you. I ain't having that. She'd be over there talking to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't want that. She didn't want me talking.
Amy's got my back.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay.
She's watching what he's up to.
Yeah.
She's watching what he's up to.
I'll show you all Amy.
Yeah.
I'll show you a video.
You showed her before, but it
might be new audience.
But well, here's who was it that said? Because you sent me like an audio message.
Yeah.
and somebody said, "Oh, my wife won't let me like take my shirt off."
Yeah.
And I sent a message back, and I was like, "Nah, man, take it off. Give him a show."
She was going, "Go ahead and take your shirt off. Go ahead and take that goddamn shirt off." So my wife not gonna let me take a shirt. She goes, "Fuck that shit. You know she'd fucking tell you to take that shirt off."
And I did.
And she was right. Yeah. It's like,
I was like, "Take it off. Come on."
that was Amy. Amy's like, "Oh, fuck that shit. She'd tell you to take that shit off." She was here.
She knows.
Fucking yeah.
She knows. I was like, "Yeah, take it off. Give him a show."
I still didn't.
I was like, as long as you're not running around with your dick hanging out.
Yeah. Hold on. Where's my shit? Hold on.
I don't know, honey.
Woo.
John Gore says, I tell him my mom won't let me. Yeah, Tom said my wife won't let me. I'm just like,
That's it. So my wife
I'm like, do you not know me at all?
Yeah, my wife not gonna let me
take
my shirt off. And she goes, "Oh, fuck that shit."
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that shit. She would tell you to take that shit off.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
There's some things I will not allow.
She's funny.
But I'll give you some leeway in that regard.
Yeah. All right. This is who we're talking about. There's Amy. She's like, "Oh, fuck Amy. That shit."
Yeah. Yeah, she lives across the street from us.
Yeah, she lives right across the street from us. That's old redneck bartender.
She's hilarious.
Bartender. She's funny.
She's hilarious. Oh my god. But yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd send me some video of you like twirling your shirt up like that.
Well, they got a stripper pole there.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, they did. Oh, that's right. I
Yeah,
forgot about that. I haven't been there in a while.
No, I wasn't gonna fucking try to piss anybody off. Those old dudes would probably get jealous. I fuck them all up, but fucking, you know how it is. They start talking.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a hoe.
Yeah. Look at
That dude, he's a hoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta watch it. You can't get them bitches too jealous.
All their women be looking
yeah,
at you.
they're like, "He trying to take all the women."
Don't you be looking at
Yeah. It's these
That's
old loser dudes, you know what I mean, who don't have any chance with some of these chicks. And I'm looking at them, so you don't have a chance with that chick, then you got some problems. But you know what I mean?
It's like no one's asking them to take their shirt off. It's like, no, please keep it on, sir. Please keep it on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not really comfortable in doing that. Maybe like a couple more months, I lose a few more pounds. My shit's looking good here in a minute, man.
Man, I've seen you get up on the stripper pole at Barbarella.
But I didn't take my shirt off.
You didn't take your shirt off, though. That's true.
You don't take your shirt off until your shit looks fucking perfect. You know what I'm talking about?
Or until everyone's too drunk to remember.
Yeah, that's true. Or you're too drunk to give a shit. You don't take your shirt off until your shit looks fucking perfect.
But usually...
I'm about 3 pounds away from 4 pounds away of fat loss. I gotta lose about 3-4 pounds, maybe 3 pounds. Actually... No, I'd look good if I lost 2 pounds.
Yeah.
I look pretty good. Because I'm at 12% body fat. But I want to get down to like single 8%. That's when you fucking look really good.
A couple of people said nice rack on Amy. She does have a nice rack.
Yeah, she's got big old titties. And she's another tit girl. I showed her titties. She's like, "I know them things are so good." God damn. Yeah.
Girls appreciate other girls' titties.
Yeah.
Well,
she sent me videos of fucking... She sent me videos of her with some other girls.
You didn't show me that. You didn't show me those. I don't think you ever showed me those.
Well, actually, she didn't send it to me. She showed it to me on her phone.
Oh, okay. So she didn't send them to you.
I was there.
Because I was sitting there going, I've never seen those.
I'll ask her.
Usually you show me those.
I'll ask her. Because
you're like, hey, look at this.
She'll send them.
Somebody sent me this. You know what I mean?
I get videos like that.
Well, I know, but like I said, you usually show me those. That's why I was like...
I've had dudes send me videos of my ex-girlfriend and her and him and all another chicks fucking...
At the Swingers Club.
But
I've seen those.
Yeah.
You showed me those.
Yeah. They're late to down there fucking... egging everybody on to fucking amp up the fucking activity and shit.
Do you know how expensive it is to go there? Because you were talking about it's like, maybe we'll go one day.
It'd be fun to go, yeah.
It would be fun to go, but then I looked up how much it was, and I was just kind of like, ooh.
They told me it was only $45 for a membership.
Is it?
$45 for a membership.
Yeah, but don't you have to pay?
I don't think you have to get a room. You can just show up for the night. If you want to stay.
Because I was just reading like Yelp reviews, and some people were like, yeah, I had to get a room, and then it ended up being like $500 or something like that.
If you get a room. But I don't think they get rooms. Because fucking according to the videos, they just fuck out in the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Or in the club.
Well, yeah, because you can.
You
do
can
that.
fuck in the club.
Yeah,
you can fuck
that.
anywhere in there.
I think. Well, as long as you're not, I think they have rules about like you can't just like fuck outside by the pool because like people might see you and shit like that. But if you're inside, like in the nightclub area or the dungeon or whatever, yeah, you can fuck in there.
Yeah,
like it's okay.
And it's a high end club. I'll show you all pictures of it.
Well, from what I heard, like it's pretty. Like some of it's been restored.
Yeah.
And some of it not so much. So,
It's
like,
still nice enough.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Like
enough.
I don't. It's not a dump or anything.
No.
But some of it, some parts of it are nicer than
it
others.
looks like something out of a porn movie.
From what I've heard. Like, I've seen photos of it. And like I said, I read some reviews of it because I'm like, is this place like a shithole or what's going on? I didn't really know.
No.
Because they kept asking us to go there. And I was like, what the fuck is this place?
We keep getting invitations. Couples get invitations to fucking... What's it called? It's Secrets what?
What is it called? Secrets Hideaway? Or
Hideaway?
Some cheesy ass name.
Yeah, Secrets Hideaway. Kissimmee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of... That's like an hour away.
But, yeah, but everything's an hour away.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everything's an hour away.
Everything's an hour away.
Well, no, not really, because Barbarella is only 35 minutes.
That's the Secrets video. They're running around.
So it doesn't look too... I mean, looks a little cheeseball, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's okay. So they got like...
It's Florida, man. Fucking Florida doesn't fucking play. Okay.
Well, yeah.
All right.
I was going to say...
So that's where we're talking about.
Yeah, we just have we have friends that go there who are a married couple who actually, it's Tom's ex-girlfriend, and he introduced, after they broke up, they weren't together that long, but he introduced her to the dude that she eventually married. And they've been together
he was a friend of mine. Yeah.
They've been together longer than we have. But they are also swingers.
Yeah.
So they go to this club and... whatever.
Yeah,
he also goes around and like fucks whoever.
Yeah.
And I assume she does also, although I don't know if she indulges.
They're kind of in an open relationship.
They're in an open relationship.
Yeah.
And it seems to work for them. They've been together a very long time.
That's the place.
It works for some people.
Yeah.
And it works for them. They
Secrets Hideaway in Kissimmee, Florida.
Papa77 said, why is every swingers club called Secrets?
I don't know, because they hold a secret going on.
It's just the obvious name, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it sounds kind of naughty, but it's still kind of plausible deniability, I guess.
They got a pool outside. There's a bunch of fucking nudity and shit. And that's about the age group that we're talking about. Actually, most of them 30s, 40s.
Which is okay.
And evidently good-looking people. And porn stars. That's where the porn stars
we'll go
party.
One day if it's not super expensive. I don't know how much I want to...
That's it right there. In this, porn stars can't go to normal clubs, so they go to these clubs. And they're in there.
There's more than one. I think there's... That might be the only one in Orlando. But I think there's a couple in Tampa that I heard about.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously a lot of people... You have to kind of look for them. But, you know... Shinichiro says, I'm too sexy for this chat.
Too sexy for this chat. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, Tammy said Tom has taken his shirt off on the show before and almost his pants. Yeah. See, that's what I thought because I told him even before the live stream started.
Oh, it's around these lecherous ass women.
Because he had a couple of drinks at Oasis before the show. Although, I mean, that was like several hours ago. Like several hours before the show started. Like, so he got a head start. And I was like, so by the end of the show, you might be like taking your pants off. And he's like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's what he said. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Y'all bitches are always trying to get free shit.
All right, I gotta pee.
Go ahead.
I gotta pee. Talk some more.
I gotta get. No, I'm trying to get back to. You looking good in those fucking pants. You should see Jen's fucking booty is fucking. Damn. She's working out like crazy on the new machines that I got. She's on gear. Booty blossoming. I was looking at her last night. She had her pants off. She's leaning up next to me in the bed where she was, and I was just like, pulled them covers back. And I looked at that booty, the angle, and I was just going like, God damn. She's starting to get projection, starting to project out the back. Yeah, it's looking good. Cause I'm mostly a boob man, but fucking I like booty too. You know, fucking I don't know. I can't describe it. I can't explain it. Let me get back to the show. Trying to get back. Here we go. The Sidetracks fucking May 16th. I can't believe it's fucking halfway through the month already. It's ridiculous. Papa's going, why is every swinger club called Secrets? You got one in Seattle, all right. CB said, has Little Tom ever appeared on the show? There is no Little Tom. Everything about Tom is big. It's Big Tom. I'll pull that shit out, man.
It's Big Tom and Bigger Tom.
It's like pulling out a fucking sledgehammer. Big Tom, Bigger Tom. There's nothing little. I'm 5'6", and the shit's still big. All right? Yeah. You can say that motherfucker's a midget at 5'6". I'm in the fucking short man mafia. Me and Tom Cruise and all these other short motherfuckers, right? Still, when I pull out of his pants, I'm not lying. I got the shit on video. Got it on video.
We do have video.
Shit comes out looking like a fucking sledgehammer. Look like most women can't have sex with me. It's like having sex with a fire hydrant.
I mean, well,
it's not that big. I'm just bullshitting, but you know, yeah.
The thing about it is that I never thought of you as like any shorter than normal.
Yeah, most people tell me. Most people tell me this. I didn't realize you're short. So, yeah, I don't really make that impression.
Well, look, I'm shorter than you. Mm-hmm. I'm only 5'3", so most people are 5'3".
Yeah,
5'2", 5'3". So most people are taller than me. So it's like it never really occurred to me. Like when I met you, it never occurred to me that you were any.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, like, my first husband was significantly taller than me.
Like fucking 6'5".
He was 6'1".
6'1", all right.
And I dated a dude that was 6'5".
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But like I said, I met him online, so I didn't know he was 6'5".
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, you're like a giant. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're doing this thing. But so I don't really have a thing about height. I know some women do, but I don't. It literally.
Women say they do.
See, I don't know.
It's not the way it really is in reality.
Nah. It literally never occurs to me. I don't think about it.
This is the thing. I've been fucking listening to what these other guys, what these younger guys are saying, and they date off of fucking dating apps. Which, man, if you're dating off a dating app, you fucking chump, man. Don't do that. And don't go on dates. That's another chump ass move.
It's like a job interview.
That's like a job interview. What the fuck are you doing?
Everybody hates
Don't ever
those.
put yourself in a position where a woman's gonna fucking interview you for her job as a boyfriend. It doesn't fucking work.
We have a position available.
Yeah, I have a position available. Man, fuck that bitch. You go to the fucking club. That's what you do.
Or anywhere that has
anywhere
people
there's other women and you fucking
that have people that are interested in the same shit that you're interested in.
That'll work.
And just chill with those people.
Yeah. And you look good
in person.
And you fucking gotta have face game where you got face-to-face skills and social skills. Some of these younger guys don't seem to have it because they only deal with people online. And dealing with people online that's your weakness. You better learn to deal with people face to face. Learn how to fucking flirt. Evidently, Gen Z doesn't know how to flirt. Which that's a scary fucking concept. I actually saw a whole show where younger people say, well, you see, the thing is they don't really know how to flirt. They think it's sexual harassment or some shit.
Well, it can be if done wrong.
But if you're flirting, she's wanting it.
Yeah, the whole thing about flirting is
the reason why you're flirting is because she was
If it's not reciprocal, then it is sexual harassment.
They don't understand the vibe. You know what I mean? Fucking my success rate with women was super high because I only went after women that were receptive.
Yeah.
You have to understand the signals that a woman's giving you that she wants to talk to you, that she wants to know who you are. And then you get to know them as people. You don't fucking try to be something that you're not. And you have to be entertaining. We learned that as kids in high school hanging out at Denny's. But it'd be all there and fucking, just being entertaining. Okay? And for some reason they don't do that today because it's online and it's not organic.
Be somebody that other people want to hang around.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. So
don't be a bummer. Don't be a downer. Don't be miserable.
No, it's a positive experience.
Yeah.
It's an exciting
Make
experience.
people want to hang out with you. Like, because you're fun.
Right.
You're fun or you're funny or whatever.
And you might be like, whoa, you can't do that today. Yeah, you can do anything today.
Yeah, you can.
You can do anything today. Shit that fucking people were doing in the 1920s, you can still do today and get away with, even though the city
you
probably
can still
could.
do pretty much anything. I think
anything.
the only people that piss and moan about, oh, you can't do this and that,
They don't know what they're talking about.
No, I think those are just people that want to sexually harass people and are mad that they can't. Or mad that they'll get called out on it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They're mad about that. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know about that part.
That's true. Well, it's just kind of like people that are just like, well, you can't say anything. I'm like, you just want to say the N-word and not have anybody punch you in the face for it. Just admit it. Just admit it.
That's not exactly what we're talking about, though. We're talking about dating.
But it's the same. It's the same kind of thing. Same kind of thing.
There's what you can say often depends on how you look. I can say and do a lot of shit that women would fucking think it was funny or like because of the way I look. A dude that they're disgusted by can't say that or do that. They would say that's creepy. And that's just how it is. There are some dudes that are creepy, no matter what they're gonna do or say.
Yeah,
it's
anything
gonna come
they
off
do is
even
creepy
more
because they're just a creepy person.
You're a creepy dude. You know what I mean?
And maybe just work on the creepiness.
Yeah.
Because you're just a creepy person.
Although a lot of times dudes that are really truly creepy, there's nothing they can do. They're busy creepy.
Not really, because they don't really seem to have much self-awareness.
Yeah.
If they were self-aware, they wouldn't be creepy.
I've never seen an actual real creepy dude come back from creepiness. It's just like they're genetically
I've
creepy.
honestly never seen that either, but...
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but I don't really know. Like I said, I kind of feel like they don't have self-awareness. That is why they're creepy.
Dating and mating is a fucking game, and not everyone was designed to fucking win it. It's not democratic. There are some people that are going to lose at that game forever. Most dudes genetically wash out. They don't have children. They don't have offspring. I'm one of them. I didn't have offspring. It's not
that you know
that
of.
I know of. It's not that it's because I was unpopular. It's because I was extreme. All right, I was doing too much shit at the time in which I should have had kids in my 20s. You really should have them in your 20s or maybe 30s if you're a man. You should have them early. I was too popular.
I was having too much fun.
I was having too much fun. There was no
kids are gonna like cramp my style, man.
Being extreme actually kind of weeded me out.
That's okay though.
Had I been a little more mediocre, it probably would have been a little bit better. Probably I would have had kids because a lot of mediocre motherfuckers have kids.
They do.
But I kind of was like, no, man, I don't want to fucking knock this chick up, man. There's all these other women, and I don't want to spend the rest of my life with this one. This one's not that good. That actually weeded me out. That too much thinking.
I think that was also my problem.
Having too high standards is almost too high. Yeah.
Because I was really never into
You're like,
the
I don't
idea
want that, bitch. Yeah. It was the same way.
of having kids. And not just because I was fucking everything that moved. I actually didn't. I have a very low body count. But it was just nothing I wanted to saddle myself with. Because I thought, man, there's so much other shit I want to do, and that's just going to cramp my style, you know what I mean?
I was thinking the same way. I was like, man, what are you talking about, man? I got all this fucking shit's going good.
I got all the shit I got to do.
When I was in my 20s, I was thinking, man, I ain't happy kids. Fuck that. I'm not even going to get married. Maybe when I'm about 50, I'll get married. I'll marry some chick who's 25. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I can see you thinking that.
You could do it. You could do it.
Yeah.
You go to Russia, get you a fucking 25-year-old hottie.
You could buy one.
You don't have to do that. Those girls are so desperate. If you're a man, you show up. Hell yeah, because they don't have any men over there. They're all off at war or whatever, and they're trying to get out of Russia, you know. But I was just thinking like that. I'm like, fuck that, man. I'll just wait till I'm like 50. Because you see, the thing is, that wasn't a stupid thing to think. Because when I was a kid, or when I was 25, there were dudes doing that.
Yeah.
Dudes that are coming up on 50 that looked great and had a fucking 30-year-old girlfriend.
You're like, all right, I'm going to be that dude.
I'm going to be that dude.
That's my aspirational
I'm going to be that dude.
Right
there. Yeah. That seemed to be the ultimate player way of doing it.
That's kind of not quite how it worked out.
Well, what ended up happening is fucking other things came to the forefront. In other words, like what your relationship was with a woman. Like, you know, our relationship was in a way where, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sacrifice this just to have some kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, neither would I.
Yeah, because we're having too much fun, and we're too much of a good team. So, you know, and we were hooking up. When we hooked up, both of us were around the same age. We were too old to have kids.
Yeah. And
really, when I was 50, by the time I hit 50 or even my late 40s, I was like, what the fuck do I want to saddle myself with a kid?
Yeah, it's like by that time you're just like, man, fuck that. It's
I'm
like,
supposed to be relaxing at this time. It's,
Yeah.
you know.
and that would just like bring
Right.
whole new stresses into your life.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I should have done it in my 20s if I was wanted to do it.
When you're still dumb and you don't know.
Yeah,
all
when you're
that
dumb,
much
you don't know much. You had a lot of energy to put up with stupid shit. You know.
Because look,
Yeah.
I lost my cat for a couple hours today, and I was losing my fucking mind. Can you
Yeah.
imagine if I had a fucking child?
You
I
lost
would.
your kid.
I would be a basket case.
Yeah.
I don't think I could.
What if your
deal
kids run around doing stupid shit, fucking breaking into cars and going
That's
to
what I
jail?
mean.
and
I
shit?
couldn't
You'd be
deal with
fucking
it. I
like,
wouldn't
what
be
the
able to
fuck?
deal
I
with
can't help you, bitch.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
I know. Like my anxiety is just like too much.
Or they're running around.
I couldn't deal with that.
Setting fire to shit while you're in the house. What the fuck? Why are you setting fire to the fucking carpet?
Couldn't deal with it. A couple people
Man, they're
telling you to bust out wigs. The Danzig wig and the Michael Caine wig.
Man, fuck all that. I don't need a wig.
Klaus
cool
says,
with.
I'm still wondering what we're talking about. LOL.
We're talking about everything.
We're talking about everything. It's a sidetrack show.
Yeah.
We just get drunk and talk about whatever.
Yeah. Look at the kitty. Kitty, get back.
What happened? What'd
I don't know,
she
she
do?
ran over there.
Oh,
I don't know about you, but I'm getting starting to get hungry.
No, it's not even that
What
late.
time is it?
It's only 9:15. Calm down.
All right.
Calm down.
We're going to get something to eat tonight.
Well, I know, but it's like we still got like an
All right.
hour or two. Calm
Okay.
down.
All right. All right.
Calm down.
What are they saying?
It's like I'm not even that drunk yet,
Yeah.
and it's Friday night.
Yeah.
I've had a long work week,
Yeah.
and I wanna.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, what's all this shit? What's that with all this shit right here?
See, I thought this might happen. See, the pants might come off at some point.
Pants aren't coming off tonight. Oh, you think the pants might come off?
If I say it, it might happen.
happened with the pants
If I
coming
say it,
off?
it might
What
happen.
happened with the pants?
See, I told you. All I have to do is say it. All I have to do is say
that
it.
shit in the fucking
There,
pants.
see,
Come
told
on.
you. Pants came off.
The pants coming off. Right, that's it. I ain't playing no more. I'm a thirst trapping too many of these motherfuckers.
thirst trapping.
We didn't get a super chat today either. We got Papa in the conversation. And
Zach
everything.
says, "Oh no."
Well, Zach said, "Oh no." Zach wants to jump up. His gay ass jumps up. As soon as I start taking my pants off, Zach's gay ass jumps up and says, "Oh my God, this is unacceptable." bitch, you put that shit on Zoom. You try to zoom in on that shit. You know what's going on. Shit, I was fucking come back and get Zach from the back.
Oh my goodness.
Getting Zach from the back. Getting Zach from the back.
See, I knew this would happen.
See
That's
that
why.
shit?
That's why I
That
suggested
shit
it.
might happen.
I knew.
All right, I ain't playing no more of this game.
Zach says, "I'm not getting topped by a man
I
shorter
ain't
than me."
playing no more of this game. He says not getting topped by what?
By a man shorter than me.
Man, shorty, shit, bitch. You have to understand the power of the short man mafia. You don't understand the power of the short man mafia. If you met me in person, I would dominate you. I would fucking dominate. You'd love it. You'd love the shit. Here comes the fun. Here comes the money. Is that from Papa?
Cause you cried, yeah.
Papa's fucking breaking it off.
Thank you, Pop.
What Papa
It's like,
said?
it's like, there you go.
What Papa said? He said, there you go. Okay, all right.
All time I had to do was cry and take his pants off.
I could cry and take my pants off. You bitches aren't paying us. You bitches aren't paying us, man. We're doing a show and shit. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I love you too, Papa. Love you, bro.
Holy shit.
Paying for my dinner.
I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, so
Instead of needing a magnifying lens. He said,
magnify. Wait.
no, I got that shit fucking documented, bitch. Got that shit documented on video.
It is quite large. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is quite large.
CB, if I
Straw
had
Dog
you
said,
down,
"Damn, when did the
fucking
show
you
get
be
so raunchy? It was always raunchy."
pushing your fucking ass down on your knees like that, and I come with this shit and just bap, 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 on the fucking your forehead, bap, 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 and fucking make a noise and everything. Man, you think I got hit by a fucking Irish shillelagh on your head?
Tom was totally gonna order one of those.
I'm gonna get me a shillelagh, man.
Although he saw on Amazon how much he's like,
They want
"These are
$700 for a
expensive."
fucking good shillelagh, and fucking they want fucking
Okay,
$60
never
for a
mind.
fucking good blackthorn to make a shillelagh.
Yeah.
Some of that Irish stick fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get one too, and then we can fight?
Yeah, well, they got some of them that look like little hammers because they just cut it off like that, like that.
Like
you know?
on the show, it'd be like,
Well, the British took the guns away, so you got to fucking fight with sticks. You know what I mean? Fucking, we got guns over here. We don't
Or-
really
or
need to fight
knives.
with sticks. But I would just have a shillelagh for fucking, just for fucking spiritual reasons. Just for spiritual
in
reasons.
case you
yeah.
might need one.
I had to have that
I could
black
whip it
thorn.
out.
Thank you. You got another fucking.
Thank you, Straw Dog.
Thank you, Straw Dogs. You the man, bro.
See, that's what happens.
What'd he say? All I gotta do is
Nothing.
ask. I asked
All
for the
you gotta
money
do
in
is
the
cry.
house. Thank you very much.
Oh, you describe.
I'm acting up, so I'm just trying to make
He's
some
acting up.
acting up.
So, speaking of acting up,
Yeah.
do you want to say, like, last Saturday after the club, what happened?
All right. Me and Jan, usually when we're coming back from the club, already some shit had happened. Lip locking all these fucking hot chicks and shit.
Although Donovan's not there, but
yeah. So we're coming back. We stop off at McDonald's. We're eating at McDonald's almost to my house.
For our old house.
Yeah, and fucking passed by our old house in Sanford, and there's a little parking lot outside the.
Like a little dirt, but it's outside the gate because
Outside the main gate.
You can't get in the back entrance if you don't have like a
Yeah.
resident thing, like if the gate won't open.
So I parked there like that. Fucking.
To throw the garbage away
Me and Jen start making out.
in the car.
In the car. Fucking I jump out the car like that. Fucking throw the fucking go walk around the car and throw the fucking door open, pull her fucking ass out. Fucking just come on, let's go. So we go over to the fucking woods on the side of the road.
It's like not even woods. It was just kind of like
Where the old walking path
it's like
was.
a tree.
It's a tree there, right? You know,
And then some other trees over there.
That's right. So
And there's the road, like right there is the road right there.
Yeah, so y'all know what happened. I fucking grabbed her ass like that, turn her ass around, throw her up against that tree. Fucking, you know, I'm looking at that, pulling them fucking pants down like that. Like that. And she's fucking just lit up like a Christmas tree. I was fucking the shit out of her. On the side of the road.
On the side of the road.
On the side of the road. Fucking nobody drove by. Nobody drove by. I was like,
We
fuck
kept
this shit.
expecting
Fuck it.
somebody to drive.
No cops even came by.
We kept expecting somebody to drive.
I had the fucking.
There's houses like right over
Like,
there.
yeah,
I don't
had
know
the
if
land.
anybody was awake. It was like 3
I
in the
wish we
morning.
had a phone with the fucking light on it. I would have recorded
That
this
was so fucking funny.
shit. It was funny. Jen's like, what the hell's going on?
It's like we're fucking on the side of the road right
Fucking on
now.
the side of the road, yeah.
Like,
Shit
okay.
was fucking funny, man. And that was, we used to live right there too, you know?
That was like, yeah, that was like 3 houses down from our house. Like I said, our neighborhood,
Yeah.
we lived like 3 houses down from the back gate. And by the
Yeah.
back gate, like you couldn't get in there. Like if you didn't have a resident pass, you had to go around the front,
Yeah.
which was like a mile down the road. And it's like, so right outside the gate, there was like this big, like dirt parking lot. And then there's like a grass thing and there's like a pond or something.
Yeah.
So people could park in there, like if they couldn't get in and like they could walk in or whatever.
I had that beautiful fucking Toreador red Grand Marquis. That shit was shiny and beautiful and clean as a motherfucker in the nighttime. With the AC blowing, the engine running, and shit. I left the engine running. Left that engine running nice and cool in there. That leather interior. It's like a little limousine. See, this
is nice in there.
a traditional
It's very
American
large.
executive luxury sedan.
It is.
Right.
Nice.
Fucking and
There's a lot of room in the back.
a lot of
That's
room
what
in
I'm
that
saying.
car. I wish sometimes, and I had just dropped my friend off, did a limousine job for fucking
Scott and his girlfriend.
Scott and his girlfriend.
We dropped them off
the
at their hotel, yeah.
Didn't even charge him.
Because they were going to take an Uber,
They
but
went
we
to
were
Uber. I
like,
said, "Come on, man, I'll take."
it's like, dude, it's like 2 miles. Come on. We'll
I
take
took
you."
him. I gave him a whole fucking luxury sedan drive. I'm going fucking like that. And for our European customers, the Grand Marquis is the fucking executive edition of the Crown Victoria. And the Crown Victoria was what we used for cop cars and taxis for fucking, 30 years. They upgraded it up to a big old V8. And then another version of it was a stretched version where they stretched the back seat 18 inches. And they called that the Lincoln Town Car. And it had an even more deluxe interior. That was our version of a limousine. Angel, my buddy, she's got a fucking black Lincoln Town Car that she uses as a limousine. Did shit for limousine services because she had a little company that did that. But it's just a fucking great car, man. It's a 1999. It only had 100,000 miles on it.
Less than 100,000
No, 90-something thousand miles on it.
Yeah.
That was the third owner. And the first owner only had it for a few months. The second owner, she had it for since the 90s. And
We shouldn't drive it that much.
yeah, and that thing's like brand new. I got that shit. I'm going to change the carpet out in it next. Even though the carpet's good, I want a new carpet. I like that new interior feeling. And the paint is beautiful. It's red.
It looks-
dark red.
It looks brand new. Actually.
Looks brand new.
We were amazed
Yeah.
when we saw it.
Yeah, I looked at it. I was like,
We were like
Then we
looking at
drove
the
around, like, this is
underneath, and I
pretty
was
good.
just like, Jesus. We looked
Yeah.
at the engine. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
yeah, it needed some work. You know what I mean? It replaced
much.
replaced the AC, AC compressor.
For a car that old, it didn't really need that much.
I fucking changed the fucking the intake manifold. put some new fucking plug, fucking coilover plugs in it, and fucking new spark plugs, and a new alternator and battery. Just basically tune-up shit. Really, just tune-up shit. So
yeah, like I said, for a car that age.
yeah, that car. The Grand Marquis, the Crown Victorias, and the Lincoln Town Cars have been known to get 600,000 miles off of an original engine if you take care of it right. Your little Scions and your little Hondas will be long in the fucking scrapyard when my shit's still riding. And it's just an old traditional V8 car, and it's just like a land yacht. It's got a floaty feeling to it, and really quiet interior, and nice and cold. It'll be cold in the summer because you got a big, powerful air conditioner in it. And I fucking took the radio out, and I got a fucking touchscreen, fucking Bluetooth radio, and new speakers
so
and
I can
shit.
run Spotify through my phone.
So it's all uprated.
We can listen to good shit in there.
Everything's LED. I got everything LED fucking converted. The headlights, all the interior lights are all LED now. Trunk light isn't LED though. I couldn't change it, and I haven't changed out the dashboard lights to LED. But I'm gonna do that later eventually. But the car is just fucking. When you go in there, it's like you're in an office or in a hotel room.
It is very large.
Yeah, it's big in there. You could easily fuck. 4 people could fuck in my car.
Oh, easily.
Easily. 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You could carry 6.
Maybe 3 in the back.
Maybe. Depends. You could probably have 3 in the front and 3 in the back.
Yeah, you probably could.
6 people could fuck.
Yeah. 6 people could fuck in the back.
In that car, yeah. Easily.
We should try that out one of these days.
We can try it. We'll try that out.
We'll find some volunteers.
Yeah. We'll get Dawn. You and Dawn will fucking tear the back seat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straw Dog says, people having sex on the side of the road, just another Tuesday in Florida.
That's Florida shit.
I mean, it was technically Saturday night and Sunday
Yeah.
morning,
We were in a nice place, though, on the side of the road.
Yeah.
The road could see us.
Like I said, expecting... Well, the road was
We were like
right
in
there.
a park.
The road was right there.
Yeah.
So we kept expecting... If a car had gone by, yeah, they would have seen us.
I wouldn't have cared, though.
But no, I was past the point.
No,
at that point.
I'd be like, yeah! They'd be fucking hitting the lights and shit. Oh, that's right, I got you.
All right. That's what happens.
Yeah, Jen's fucking titties fucking smacking each other.
Nobody drove by, though, weirdly.
No.
I mean, that's not like a... That's not a super, super busy road, admittedly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of like where... It's right behind where we used to live.
Yeah.
Because we always stop at that McDonald's, like right by our old house, and then we usually pull in there to like throw garbage away. Because for some reason I can't find the garbage can at the McDonald's, like outside of the McDonald's. They don't have one out there. So we always stop at that place because they have a big garbage can.
I guarantee you a teenager recorded it. I hope they did.
I mean, maybe they did. It might be. I mean, it was pretty dark.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of it you would see. I didn't see any mysterious lights or
Shintaro
anything.
Katsu saying, I love what they did in my car. Streets of San Francisco, here a car. 84 town car. Yeah, okay. The 84 town car, yeah.
CB said, that's nothing. I lost my virginity in the toilet at college, like in the bathroom. Didn't you come in the bathroom with me at Barbarella to fix something?
I think we did go to the bathroom together, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I'd kind of forgotten about it. But then I was like, I thought you just went in there because I think people were like, woo, but I was like, no, he was just like fixing my corset or something.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that big of a deal. Like we used to have the old Barbarella too. I'm like, hey, I can't really pee with this corset on. Can you like loosen it for a second so I can?
Well, go ahead and hit that like button if you can, people. Go ahead and hit the like button. How you doing, Cady? What's up? What are you doing?
We need more drinks, I think.
No, I'm not gonna drink anymore because it's starting to get.
Well, I'm gonna drink more.
I'll get you some more, but I gotta drive.
No, you don't.
I gotta drive.
Oh, you gotta go to.
Gotta drive.
You're gonna go down
for
to.
For to get something to eat.
Oh, you're gonna go down to.
Yeah, aren't you gonna want to go with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't know that you were gonna go down there.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, where are you driving to? I was like, oh, Circle K. That's literally like fucking less than 5 minutes away though. Shinichar says, I lost my virginity on her parents' bed while they were at the movies. I lost my virginity in a hotel room. Yep. It wasn't a shitty hotel room. It was kind of a like an average hotel room, I guess. Like, not great, but not terrible either, you know? So that was that. On was one of the beachside hotels in Daytona Beach. I don't remember the name of it though.
There you go. Let me go to the restroom real quick.
All right. But yeah, I told him the next day. I was like, "Wow, it seems like a fever dream. I can't believe we fucking did that." But I don't know. We've been talking about doing outside shit more. Like I said, there's a park in Sanford, kind of near where we used to live. And if you go there during the week, which I usually don't have time to do because I'm usually working, but if you go there during the week, like on a Tuesday or something like that, like there's literally like nobody there, and it's like, and it's super. They have like, they have like all these little I don't know, little byways and stuff, and you can go back there and there's like nobody. Like we filmed a video there, and me just like rubbing one out on a bench or so, like right in the open, and like literally nobody came there. Like we saw nobody. So it was a little weird. Like I was kind of worried about it. I'm like, Tom's like, I'll watch out and like make sure, but yeah, nobody came there. So we're kind of like, man, we need to go back there like one of these days. It's like nobody around. I kind of feel like probably on the weekends it's super crowded because there's like a nice lake there, and you can kind of see there's like houses and stuff like across the lake that probably if they have binoculars they could see you, but how likely is that? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I said, I'm too old to care. I'm too old to care. That's what people are talking about. John Gore says, on a beach, classic. Wasn't that bad a life, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty good.
What was a classic?
Talking about where people lost their virginity. I said, it was in a hotel room. Like kind of
What's this kitty doing?
Kind of a low to mid-grade hotel room on Daytona Beach. That was where it happened. But I know about your story.
In Brazil, yeah.
Mm.
That was like, well, consider my real virginity.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like because I was thinking before.
Yeah, before that was probably about
because your first experience was
going anal.
Was anal.
Yeah, which that's not really kind of like.
So it doesn't count.
It didn't really count for me. Yeah,
that doesn't count.
Yeah,
they call that the loophole.
Yeah, it's kind of a loophole. She thought it was a loophole. She was about 17. I was probably about 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she thought it didn't count because it was in her butt?
Yeah, she's a virgin.
Oh. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, she's a virgin.
So you didn't really count that?
No. And in a way, it was up in Mississippi. She was actually, on paper, a cousin. But we weren't related. She was like a second cousin. We were only related by marriage.
Yeah, that's like
yeah.
That
There's a lot of shit about y'all Mississippi fucking your cousins. Yeah, we did, but they're not fucking first cousins.
But they're not
first cousins.
Cousins.
They're not genetically related. Yeah,
like I said, that's like by marriage cousins, and it's like second cousin.
Yeah, second
which
cousin.
Is like hardly related.
Yeah, and it was just like
you're about as related to your second cousins as you're related to any other.
She was from a family that married in to my family. Yeah.
So again, doesn't count. Yeah, you told me that story.
Yeah.
I even remember what her name is.
Yeah, you remember she?
Yeah.
And she was what you call in the South Quadroon. She was 1/4 black. She was my cousin.
Papa77 says butthole loophole.
Yep. Yeah. She's pretty. She looked like fucking I told you the actress what she looked like. She looked like fucking
No, I can't remember now. Do you need help?
Yeah, no, I'll remember it in a bit. I'm getting drunk. Hold on.
Yeah, man, Garfunkel and Oates had a whole song called "The Loophole" that was about that, like how people like would do butt sex to get around like the virginity thing. It was super super funny.
She looked like Barbie Benton.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember you telling me.
Yeah.
If anybody remembers who that is.
Yeah, she looked like Barbie Benton.
What the hell was it? Like Barbie Benton? I remember she was a thing because I remember that name and I remember what she looked like. Yeah. Was she in movies or was she just a model?
She was in movies and stuff.
Or was she on TV? She was on TV, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of remember what she looked like, but not. It's kind of fuzzy in my mind.
She looked like that.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, she looked like.
Yeah, she was on a bunch of shit back in the day. Back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her being
had a very
blonde,
similar
though,
face.
Weirdly.
Yeah. That's a good picture of her.
Where? Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't have that fancy hair, though. She was a country girl.
That's fancy.
What happened to her... You have to understand Mississippi Southern culture. Oh, shit, look at this shit.
What
This
happened?
shit fell over.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I didn't even see that fall.
I didn't either. When did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was quiet.
Girls in white families that are of mixed ancestry were always, let's go back centuries. This goes back to octoroon balls and stuff in New Orleans. We're kind of like the southern version of the geisha. They were high value. And the South fucking practiced a culture called plaçage or plaçage. Even though they didn't do plaçage with her, what they did was they made sure to get her out of the South. They sent her to Germany. And she went to Germany as a model and got married within about 6 months. Married a German guy. They just got her out of the South. That's how it worked.
Yeah, Tammy said a lot of Fantasy Island and Love Boats appearances.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her being on TV a lot
Yeah.
back in the day. I just couldn't, place what she'd been on. Full Metal Nosferatu says the late, great Peter fucking Steele from Typo Negative
Yeah.
would talk about having sex in garbage trucks, then say in a later interview that he was still a virgin. I don't believe that. Is that like some Morrissey shit where he was saying he was celibate and he was fucking all these dudes?
Morrissey probably had all kinds of fucking sex. That bitch is a liar.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's it.
I heard he was fucking all kind of dudes.
Dudes or chicks?
Dudes.
I
think he fucked some chicks too, but
I think he was more into women. Actually.
I think he mostly fucked dudes.
I think he was more into women.
That's what I heard.
That's my deal.
I have a couple of books about him.
Yeah.
Like some biographies. I don't know how authorized they are. I'm sure he would get very offended if I said anything about it, but yeah, a lot of them said that he was more into dudes.
More into dudes? Okay.
But I don't know. I
always had a theory.
I don't know him. So
I always had a theory that was a cover, that he was actually into chicks and just didn't want to come off that way.
And he just thought that was boring.
I think he thought that was gauche.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
and I think he said a lot of stuff just to rile people up.
Yeah.
So a lot of shit that he said, he just made.
I think so. Yeah.
Just to piss people off.
Piss people off. Yeah.
So anything that was going to piss people off. So if him saying that he was kind of more into dudes or he was gay or whatever, although he never said that.
Yeah.
I think he said he was celibate because I think he thought that would cause the most outrage or the most interest, which it did. It worked.
Yeah.
So you know. Shinichara said Barbie has nice nipples. Does she really?
I don't know. I don't know if she did nude stuff. Maybe she did.
Well, look that up.
I looked that up.
We'll see.
Yeah.
CB says it's only gay if you fuck the guy's butthole, but not the mouth.
Oh, shit.
CB says bisexual people are just greedy and need to learn to share.
Yeah, okay. That's what she's got.
Let me see. Let me see that.
Hold on.
Okay, you can't show it on the show that we got. Oh, she does that nice.
She got puffy nipples.
Oh, Tom likes that.
She got the nipple. She got the breast on top of the breast. Basically, the puffy nipples. Yeah.
Cool. You don't see that much.
She's
working it.
The secondary ogive.
Yeah. Tom likes that puffy nipple.
The puffy nipple thing is kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Yeah. You can't see it as much in that one.
Yeah.
She did a lot of nudes.
Or
topless at least.
Topless. That nude too.
Well, that's nude too. Okay.
Walking around with monkeys. Nude with monkeys.
Hi, I'm naked with monkeys. All right, I didn't realize.
By today's standards, though, and fucking on the internet and fucking magazines, that's kind of average bodies, though. But she has a cute face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. And look at the tan lines. You love that.
I love tan lines. It's a 70s thing.
Lines.
It's like wearing clothes without clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get the accentuation of curvature of clothing lines, but without the clothes.
But without clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom's really into that.
Yeah, I think that's really hot.
Full Metal Nosferatu says, Jenny, do you remember Mike Nelson's impression of Morrissey on MST3K? Yes, I do. That was when the Mads invented Tupperware to keep pop stars fresh, to keep stale pop stars fresh. And Mike Nelson dressed up. He did a very, very good Morrissey. I'm gonna say. And the song he came up with, I lied and I cried, and it was just like this really funny. He did a good job. I really it's super funny. That was on, wasn't that on the City Limits episode, the one with Kim Cattrall? Because that was the one where Crow had the song about how he fell in love with Kim Cattrall.
I don't remember.
That was a whole. Sorry, I'm a dork. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of remember like that. This is a song I wrote when I was very, very sad. Breakfast, actually. Like, fucking, yeah, he fucking nailed it. Mike Nelson is, for real, like, one of the funniest people alive. And I said it. He's seriously one of the funniest people alive. Just watching some of the, like, even the sci-fi era MST3Ks, like, even, like, not even the shit he said, because he wrote a lot of those songs, too, because he's also a musician. But, just his fucking facial expressions, like, reacting to stuff is fucking funny. Everything. I love the Joel episodes, too, but that's, like, a different kind of humor. Like, Joel's episodes were more laid back, like, more stoner kind of humor. You know what I mean? Whereas Mike was a lot more, like, sarcastic, like, a lot more cutting. And, he wrote a lot of the early shows, too, but like I said, Joel was kind of like the showrunner. He was the one that started it. But I always was kind of more a Mike girl. I love the Joel episodes, but the Mike ones will always be my favorite. And honestly, I like both Crows, but I kind of like Bill Corbett's Crow slightly better than Trace Bolio's Crow. Because Bill Corbett, he was a Brooklyn guy, and so he was kind of mean. You know what I mean? And I kind of liked, I thought that was like funnier. But I don't know. Then maybe they're both equal. I'm not sure. Not sure. Yeah, Fulminant Osprey says, I think you're correct. City Limits. Mike is comedic gold. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever read any of his books, like Movie Mega Cheese, and he did like a novel kind of called Death Rat that was pretty funny. Kevin Murphy also wrote a book, A Year at the Movies, where he saw movies like in the weirdest places imaginable, like for a whole, like he tried to see a movie every single day, like for a year. And he tried to do, like, weird shit, like, hey, I saw a movie in Igloo, or I snuck a whole Thanksgiving dinner into a theater, or something like that. Like, he had to do something weird, like, every day. And that was also very funny, because Kevin Murphy is also very funny. He's the guy that plays Tom Servo, in case you didn't know. On the old one. The new ones are funny, too. I'm not one of those assholes that doesn't like the new ones. Like, the ones they did for Netflix, and, you know, the ones with Jonah Ray and all that, and Felicia Day. Those are funny. Like, and they're not funny in the same way, but they're still funny. Like, I found them funny still. But honestly, when I'm watching MST3K, I usually go back to the Mike episodes. You know? Like, Season 7, Season 8, Season 9, Season 10. Like, the last, like, the sci-fi episodes. And the ones, like, the short season that they did before they left Comedy Central and went to sci-fi.
Talking about the Manos roast. John's talking about the Manos. Manos Hands of Fate, one of the best fucking movies of all times to roast. Shit is fucking. We saw that shit live.
Yeah, we saw the Riff Tracks live.
The Riff Tracks live in theater. And I was fucking. I was busting up. I couldn't.
We were dying. Like our
dying.
faces hurt when we left the theater. Yeah. We were laughing so hard. The Birdemic one was funny too.
Yeah.
But...
And I think the Birdemic was the first one.
Yeah.
Live Riff Tracks in theater that I've seen. The second one, I thought that was funny. The second one, though, was that fucking Manos. And I just couldn't fucking take it, man. Just how funny that shit was. Did they record that?
Yeah, it's still on. So you can watch it on, it's on Tubi still, as far as I know.
Yeah, I was fucking laughing.
And it might be on Amazon Prime, but I'm pretty sure it's on Tubi. Because I've watched it since then.
We were driving back from it in the car. And I was just going like, did you see that shit? I couldn't believe that was in a movie. I couldn't believe the dude actually made that movie.
Because he had never seen, I don't think you'd ever watched that original MST episode. Because the original MST episode of Manos, was Joel.
That was the first time I saw Manos.
Yeah. So he just saw the Riff Tracks live of it.
Manos Hands of Fate. In English that translates to hands of fate.
Which they did point out.
Manos means hands.
It does, yeah.
Hands of fate.
Yeah, Straw Dogs just said one of my favorite lines from all of MST that Joel said about Manos. It's like every frame of this movie looks like someone's last known
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit.
I was like, that was very perceptive. That's exactly what this movie is.
Movie made by a fertilizer salesman.
A fertilizer salesman from Texas.
That didn't have a camera that could do audio.
His camera could not record sync sound, and I believe it could only record 30 seconds or a minute at a time.
Ridiculous.
So a lot of the scenes in the movie are people talking over there while like people are just doing nothing, like on the screen, like reacting or like looking at the camera. It's the craziest thing ever.
The people that are talking are not on screen. You only see the people that are listening.
Yeah. And the hell of it is, it's not a bad idea. It's a pretty creepy idea for a movie.
At the end, they had it's a satanic fucking cult with a bunch of fucking hotties, teenage hotties that he recruited, the dude that made the movie, from the local drama program, in these white, damn near sheer dresses, I guess you could say. They almost look like a wedding, like they're more like gowns.
Yeah, they were like what, like kind of see-through.
Kind of see-through gowns.
Although they had like granny panties on underneath.
Yeah,
so don't get too excited.
Yeah. They got close, but they didn't really.
They were like the big Playtex bras and like the big granny panties.
And they were like fucking fighting though in the end. Were they fighting each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man, yes. The child, no.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's a crazy
It's like a funny shit, man.
It's a ridiculous movie. Like, who the fuck, what drugs were they on?
Yeah. And then the main head priest had that fucking robe with the fucking black robe with the red hands on it.
Yeah.
Manos.
Well, on the original episode, Joel had a robe, but it had feet on it. Like red feet. Like little toes. It was pretty fucking funny. Because they did all kind of like fucking... And they used that Torgo gag. Like, they got Mike to dress up as Torgo, and he was like a pizza guy. And like the gag was that he took fucking forever, like, to bring your pizza because he walks really slow. Because in the movie, he was supposed to be a satyr, so he was supposed to have goat legs. Yeah. But they couldn't really show that, like, so he just had big pants. But
big pants, and he's like walking funny.
And he's walking like that.
His pants were stuffed with something, probably kind of fucking cotton or stuffing or something from a mattress. They're trying to make goat legs on him.
He was supposed to have goat legs. Shit. That's what the backstory.
The dude who made it, I fucking talked online to the daughter of
I'm on her Facebook group.
She tried to sell me a remastered copy of it. I didn't buy. But she was telling me about the dude that played Torgo.
He killed himself.
He killed himself. Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
Evidently,
not too long after the movie came out.
His dad was like a military guy. I don't know if he was active duty or whatever. But evidently, the guy that played Torgo was gay, and fucking this shit wasn't working out, so he killed himself. That's
sad though.
That's evidently what
happened. Because back in those days,
his dad couldn't accept him, type of deal.
Yeah. Fullman on Nosferatu says Mike's riff about Yvonne from Jack Frost regarding sitting on the shovel made our jaws drop. Yeah, they made some kind of dirty riffs. Like, I remember that riff because he's like, I've never sat on a shovel. He's like, the flat part anyway. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Yeah. But yeah, so they were pretty good about keeping shit family friendly, but they did sneak a lot of shit in there that I was just kind of like, I can't believe they fucking got away with that. But they were like pretty slick about it.
And then that crazy, the videos that I've seen of the fucking crazy motherfucker who always casts himself as a god or a demigod alien.
Who, Neil Breen?
Neil Breen movies. Yeah, and I don't think they never did do a live one with Neil Breen, did they?
Not yet. Yeah, I'm sure they've done some riff tracks, but I haven't seen any of the riff tracks of Neil Breen movies because those movies are.
No, I thought we saw riff tracks of Neil Breen.
We might have seen one.
I think he had one. Yeah,
we might have seen one.
Remember that where he was
I've seen
an alien that could fix all kinds of shit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I've seen a lot of riff tracks.
The dude's constantly writing himself in as some kind of demigod, and all the women love him.
And he's like not.
And he's just like he
just looks like a regular, average looking.
I would say no, not even average. Not even average.
Maybe slightly below average.
Slightly below average, yeah.
I can't imagine having an ego that large. What is that like?
He made movies so he could cast himself into the fucking lead role, and women like him.
And he would have to pay like
paying women
like ex Playboy bunnies to like pretend to have sex with him.
Yeah.
And pretend that
were
they're
they
like super into him.
Some of them?
I thought some of them were, but because didn't like on Shit Case Cinema, he's covered a lot of Neil Breen movies.
Yeah.
Because he's got like all of them.
They sell his whole collection. Yeah, of course you have to buy them from Neil.
Fucking Neil.
Your arm's looking so good, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to buy that whole collection from Neil.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It was like $60 or $70. I was like,
I don't know if
I'm not giving $70.
I don't want to encourage him. I'll watch some pirated shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You give him money, he'll just think it's
He'll
like,
start
oh,
doing
people
what they
like
love.
him. He'll just make more. Don't, you know.
Well, he actually went to go meet his fans, and he shows up on stage and everything. People are giving him a standing ovation, a round of applause, and he's just eating it up. He thinks he's a great fucking movie director. No, they're kind of goofing on your movies, you know, based on fucking riff tracks and fucking.
Yeah, I mean, why do you
like,
think everybody has seen it? Because
they
that.
they would have never seen it without riff tracks or fucking MST.
So I kind of feel like some people get kind of cranky about MST or riff tracks like fucking with their movies, but it's like, look, probably nobody would have seen this otherwise.
Yeah. Like the director of fucking Goblin 2. Troll 2.
It wasn't Troll 2, it was
Neil Bog or what was it?
Yeah, Troll 2.
Troll 2, yeah. Troll
well,
2.
that wasn't on MST though.
No.
That was just like a shit movie that everybody...
I thought that was on MST.
No,
it wasn't on MST. Okay.
No.
That shit movie is famous for being a shit movie, and the Italian director fucking will still defend it, talking about what a great movie it is.
That's true, yeah.
And they were like, "No, dude,
it's terrible."
That shit,
but it's entertainingly terrible. I will say that.
Yeah.
No, I think Manos.
They didn't have that shit on fucking MST.
No.
Okay, I'm getting confused.
I think there's a riff tracks of it.
Riff tracks, yeah.
But no, they never did it on MST.
Riff tracks would be enough to put it over the top.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they have a lot of fans.
Yeah.
So, I kind of feel like Manos, for real, I don't think anybody ever would have... I think that movie would have just been obscure and forgotten about.
Been forgotten, yeah.
Unless MST hadn't dug it up.
Yeah.
And did it. Like, and that was like... That might have been... No, it wasn't Joel's last show, because that was Mitchell. But, I think it was the last one of season 5 or something. I can't really remember. But yeah, if they hadn't done that, I don't think anybody would remember that movie. And kind of the same thing happened with... You might be thinking of that horrible, horrible fucking movie, Hobgoblins, which came out in the 80s, which they did on MST.
Look at what Full Metal Nosferatu saying about fucking Torgo being the original Thigh Master.
Yeah, they made some jokes about it. It's like, hey, you been hitting the Thigh Master?
Yeah, he said about
he had like this big fucking...
He's talking about some other stuff there.
Oh my god.
He had a couple of good ones.
And sadly, Joe Don Baker from Mitchell and Final Justice passed away, and those episodes were savage as fuck. Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, so when Joel was on, Joel's last episode before he left was Mitchell with Joe Don Baker. And they're pretty mean to Joe Don Baker in that, not more mean than usual, but, you know, mean. It's a riff show. You know, you're kind of going to make fun of shit. Joe Don Baker was apparently not happy. And according to Kevin Murphy, Joe Don Baker was at some event they were at or something like that. And they said they heard through the grapevine that Joe Don Baker wanted to kick all their asses because of the shit that they'd said about Mitchell. So the next time they did a Joe Don Baker movie, which was when Mike was on, which was fucking Final Justice, they were even meaner. Wow, they were really mean. Like, to fucking... Because, come on. Get a fucking sense of humor about yourself. And Final Justice is objectively a terrible, terrible movie.
Which one was that?
That was the one with Joe Don Baker, and he's a Texas lawman, and he gets sent to Italy. It's an Italian movie. He gets sent to Italy to... Why did he get sent to Italy? Like, somebody shot his brother. There's some kind of, like, fucking jurisdictional. There's some kind of Italian mob something. And so he gets sent to... Malta. Mm-hmm. Not even Italy. Malta. He gets sent to Malta to find this mobster.
Yeah.
And he's just... And the thing about it is that Joe Don Baker in the movie is playing a dude who is past his prime, who is a little chubby, who has digestive issues. They even, like, refer to that in the movie. So the fact that they're making fun of that and he got mad about it is kind of funny to me. Yeah. I'm just kind of like, that was...
What was the movie of the guy... it might have been Shitcase Cinema. Maybe, the dude that's an action movie, and the guy's fucking chubby and middle aged, and he's the director and the producer. He's put himself in the movie. He even had to do a fucking song where he's standing up on stage in a club singing.
Goodness.
And remember that one? And it's fucking, and he looks super uncomfortable singing that song.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He's making out with all these fucking hot women that he hired to make out with him.
Oh yeah, who's that guy?
What was the name of that one?
Man, and I just rewatched that shit. He's
wearing like
he's not fat. He's like actually pretty scrawny, and he has like he has a big mustache.
Big mustache. I thought he was a little chubby, but I haven't seen it in a while. But he'd wear the sleeveless shirts.
Yeah,
like he's an 80s, like it's 80s fucking.
And he clearly filmed the whole thing in his house.
Yeah.
And in the basement, he had like some video games, and he tried to pass it off as a bar.
Including video games in the background.
Yeah, he had like some old school video games.
That was his video games, yeah.
Yeah, that was his basement, obviously.
Yeah.
That was his man cave.
Yeah.
And he was trying to it's a bar. It's like, no, it's not. That's your fucking basement.
That's
Come on.
Underneath your house, yeah.
What the fuck was the name? And I was just rewatching that the other day, too. I can't remember the name of it.
That was funny, man.
Holy shit.
These dudes get delusional.
I don't understand, like...
Delusional.
I don't understand. Well, I mean, I don't understand. Like, I'm not a real egomaniacal person. Like, I don't really understand that mindset anyway. But I really don't understand it. Like, I can understand it a little bit more. Like, if you're super hot and super talented. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like it still. Like, you're still a douche. But it's understandable at least. It's like, yeah, you really are hot and talented. Okay. Work it. But if you're not any of those things.
Yeah.
And yet you still act like you're the fucking king of the world.
It ain't gonna work. Well, see, that was the thing.
Although it is unintentionally hilarious.
I think what the deal was is that that dude wasn't Gen X. He was the generation before us. He was older. I think he saw 80s action movies and said, well, shit, if I make a movie and shoot myself doing those same things, people will buy into that. I'll be as fucking famous as fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme and fucking, you know,
Jean-Claude Gosh darn.
Yeah, or whatever. Fucking the dude,
like that other dude from
the
one with the dinosaurs and the
Sylvester
and the
Stallone,
cardboard camera,
Arnold, all these guys. It's just a trick of the camera and the story that's selling people into you being that. No. No, it's not. You can't take an average dude and fucking shoot them any kind of way, really, and to get them to look the way Arnold and fucking Stallone did and fucking in those action movies. Now, some people might point out Die Hard with fucking Bruce Willis. The thing is that Bruce Willis still looked good. He had a good personality. He was like super charismatic. Yeah, that's what sold that movie.
Bruce Willis. He had charisma. He was funny.
Bruce Willis was not an average guy.
No.
When you compare him to Arnold, the physique, he looked more average. You could do that with anybody. But if you actually put Bruce Willis next to an average dude, he looked a lot better.
Well, and that was kind of the whole point of the movie, was that he was just like a regular dude who had been a cop, and he got thrust into this situation that he had to deal with.
That was the beauty of Die Hard.
Yeah.
The beauty of Die Hard is that the hero of the movie could be a dude you could actually run across.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he wasn't an average guy.
No.
He was above average.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that shit came out, and Steven Seagal got to get into that shit. He does Under Siege. Which I loved Under Siege. I own it.
I bet.
Okay, that is really the best. That is the best fucking.
I would argue that is the only good Steven Seagal movie, and that's stretching it a bit.
Hard to Kill was pretty good too. Hard to Kill was pretty good.
I don't know.
It wasn't as good. It wasn't as good. It wasn't as good as fucking Under Siege. And Under Siege 2 wasn't bad. I was amused by Under Siege 2. And he was fucking... And his little cousin was following him. Remember that? Or his little niece. And he's fucking putting the moves on his little niece. Remember that?
Oh, that's
fucking weird
right.
shit? Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is creepy.
There's always a creepy element with fucking... With Seagal. And
which, I wonder why that could be.
If the fucking skeevy, creepy element isn't there, it's not a Seagal movie. Seagal is a fucking creepy.
Yeah, if he's not macking on an underage girl, it's not a Steven Seagal.
Macking on underage girls.
That's kind of his
who are
whole
supposedly
thing.
related to him. But he doesn't do anything about it. He fights it. He resists the urge.
You know he's doing that shit in real life. Why would he put that in the movie otherwise? He's getting off on it. He's going home and jerking it.
Yeah, and what's great about fucking...
Ew.
What's great about Seagal is that... Seagal is a fucking fraud.
Yeah.
He's a fraud.
Like I said,
they were kind of calling him out on television shows like David Letterman and shit back in the day that he was a fraud, asking him questions that he didn't want to answer. So where are you from, really? Well, how long did you spend in Japan? And he's trying to lie his way out of it because he lied about fucking. I learned the shit from my master in Japan. He was not. Okay. Steven Seagal was a martial artist.
I will give him that.
Yeah, he was a martial artist.
That's pretty much the only thing he ever said that was true.
Yeah, but the martial art that he had wasn't a real martial art, really. What was the name of that shit? Fucking
what, Aikido? Right?
Aikido, yeah. Aikido was originally intended to it was a way for a peasant to fight against a samurai and defend himself against a samurai who had a sword. And then if you actually look at the fucking training material, the way it would have gone, no, that samurai would have fucking cut you to ribbons. You know?
Well, yeah.
But it really happened, okay?
It's like, just get a sword, bro.
even in Japan, there was a shit ton of fake martial arts. Even in the time of Musashi, Shinbin Musashi warns people in fucking his old books, you know, like fucking, it was the Five Rings and shit. He says, fucking, you know, these dojos are filled with people that would teach you all these falsities, you know what I mean? And trying to sell you fucking fancy swords, you know. You just need a sword that fucking works, you know. It's just a workmanship thing. And you don't bother learning anything that doesn't bring victory, you know. None of this fucking magic bullshit. And there was a lot of magical bullshit and magical thinking in Eastern martial arts.
Well, yeah.
Lots of it. Kung Fu and shit. Totally fake. All that. It's all been proven. All the martial arts were kind of fraudulent. They were kind of artifacts of the Eastern mind because of the way Eastern people thought and the way they behaved. They were very structured. Everything had to be very ritualistic. And this goes back to fucking... Shit, maybe I'm going... Well, there is no topic, so I'm not going off topic. It goes all the way back to fucking Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said these martial arts are kind of fake. We need systems that actually work. And the ones that works are the ones that you actually win. And we have to fight. And we fight and see who wins, and there can't be any rules to these fights. You can't kill people in them. But if they die accidentally, that's like in boxing, you know, that's what happens. What fucking they were talking about. What fucking Bruce Lee was talking about, and kind of in a way what Musashi was talking about with swords was MMA. MMA actually worked. Because people fought, beat each other's asses, and certain things got thrown out. It was all, and the thing is that what you ended up with was not kung fu. You ended up with something that was almost kind of like wrestling. It had a lot of ground game involved in it, you know. Because fights usually end up in the ground.
Yeah, you gotta do some fucking grappling.
Yeah, and in Kung Fu, it wasn't that you stood there and you flew through the air and did shit like that. That's not what happens. Dude fucking pow like that, throws you to the ground and just starts choking you out. That's how the fights end. And that's what it would do if you took an old Kung Fu master, you know what I mean, with his long white beard and his big hair, like something out of a fucking
beard like that. And just go,
he'd get fucking smacked to the ground and fucking pow, 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 pow. Okay, you got me. Because they had a fucking MMA Chinese guy in China he was fucking challenging all of the Kung Fu masters in China. And he was beating all their asses. And then all of China turned on him. Okay, I'm sorry. All that peer pressure got him. But no, Kung Fu's fake. Fake.
I mean, it's good for, like, fitness and stuff. But if you have to, like, fight people,
Go get your ass beat.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Full Metal Nosferatu says, Jenny, the one riff tracks I absolutely got to see is The Amazing Bulk. I haven't seen that one yet. CB says hobgoblin is Scottish slang for blowjob. I did not know that.
That sounds interesting, though.
That's awesome.
Bitch, come over here and give me a hobgoblin.
We're gonna call it that from now on. That movie is fucking terrible, though, Hobgoblins. But it's like, there's something kind of charming about it. I really liked all the 70s and 80s, like, horrible movies they did.
Full Metal Nosferatu brings out for Justice. I got that one. I got Out for Justice.
It's called Brooklyn accent. Phew.
Yeah. He's got that stupid-ass fucking beret on his shit.
Oh, my God. Now I'm going to have to
He's a cop on the beat with his black fucking Ranger beret. Yeah,
He's always that.
I think it was a Ranger beret. It was either Ranger beret or Green Beret.
Yeah, John Gora said Seagal really blimped out. He did, yeah.
He what?
Like I said, he blimped out. Yeah, it's like now, I kind of feel like the movies he's in now, they just film him from like the lower lip up.
Yeah, he has
and then everything else is stunt doubles.
He has stunt doubles to walk up and down the stairs for him.
Stunt doubles to like walk around.
You only shoot him from the fucking neck up because they don't want to see that he weighs 500 pounds now. And then, fucking some of the here's the thing, man. Fucking.
Fuck it up.
I tried to watch some of the later Seagal movies, and they were so boring I couldn't.
They're they're really dull.
And then, so I started watching videos of other people reviewing them and analyzing them. And that was much better because they're like, "Do you realize that he's not in this movie?"
Not really.
You're like,
he probably showed up for like a day.
He's not actually in this movie. He says,
he's like, I'll just sit in this chair and you can film my face like saying some deep shit, and then I'm going home and like eating.
They'll have a movie with a bunch of people in it. Okay. And Steven Seagal, every now and then you see his face like flying a plane. But you only see that for like a few times in the whole movie. Mm-hmm. But you hear his voice a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not even his voice. It's somebody fucking faking.
Because it's pretty easy to...
somebody faking.
All you have to do is kind of mumble a little bit.
So there are Steven Seagal movies out there that he made where he's not actually in them. I was just like, damn.
He's just farming that shit out.
And it's the way, yeah.
He's like, I'm not
gonna be in my own movie.
He's gonna sit home in his pool of Asian experience.
Asian experience, that's right.
Eating ho-hos or whatever.
Asian experience.
Or whatever it is that he does. And, make other people make the movies. Every now and then, they can cart him in a wheelbarrow or whatever it is they do. Like, so he can be on set for one day and do a voiceover, and they can film some close-ups of his face, like just this part, so nobody can see the double chins or anything.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then, like, everything else is stunt doubles.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's just amazing that
he just cashes in.
That you make a movie about you. That you're Steven Seagal. You're going to make a Steven Seagal movie, but you're not going to be in it.
Yeah.
That's a wild fucking concept.
Well, he's a brand.
Yeah, he's a brand. Yeah.
That's how that works.
Well, they said he farms everything in the movie out.
Yeah.
Somebody said that he had such a tight fan base of small lunatics that like him and believe what he says.
I mean, you'd have to be a lunatic.
Yeah, there's these lunatics that fucking believe the shit that he says. That he's just playing to them.
Yeah.
And they'll buy anything that he puts out. And that's enough for him.
And he's just like, he's got enough suckers out there.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I got 40,000 people that will buy my body.
He probably has enough money.
So I'm just going to sell to them, right?
So, you know.
It's bizarre.
Also, Full Metal Nosferatu asks, Jenny, have y'all ever done a show about Frank Dux, the Bloodsport dude?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about him on... We did a show called Bullshido.
Bullshido, yeah.
Where we talked about all of that. We talked about Akita Kim and...
Ashita
Kim, like, like all that. And we did a big... I think we talked a lot about Frank Dux on that.
Yeah, I also talked about fucking Count Dante.
That's right, and Count Dante. And the Dojo Wars. We talked about that on the
Chicago Dojo Wars of Count Dante.
We did it, I don't remember how long ago it was. It was probably a couple of years back, but we just showed it was called Bullshido.
Out of all the fucking fake martial artists, fucking Count Dante was actually the real thing.
Well, he could actually do this.
He could actually fight. He was a fucking lunatic.
For big time.
He was a fucking lunatic. He tried to go into Hollywood and do fight choreography and fight with people and shit like that. And he would hurt people. He'd hurt stunt people and shit. So they kicked him out because he just couldn't dial it back. And he was fucking crazy. And I first encountered Count Dante as a young whippersnapper of like 7 or 8 years old, getting comic books, Marvel comic books. And when you go near the fucking advertisements where the sea monkeys and the little fucking locker full of fucking soldiers and shit, 1,000 soldiers that had a whole army in it, 2 whole armies actually. There'd be a little ad for the Black Dragon Fighting Society, fucking, and it show Count Dante and the Dim Mock, the Death Touch, where you could send him some money. And he would send you a whole brochure and teach you his deadly ways. How you could just fucking strike someone with your hands and do a death touch and they die later. Shit like that.
Sometimes 40 years later.
They might die 40 years later of cancer.
You're like, I did that.
As a scene in The Men That Stare at Goats.
I did that.
They were, yeah, he got hit with a dim bug. But
I love that they included that because it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That was a real thing that they claimed.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's hilarious that it's like...
But out of the fucking crazy martial artist dudes, fucking Count Dante. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight Count Dante. He's a lunatic, and he would hurt you.
Yeah, that dude was a nut.
Yeah, he died of stomach cancer, and he had the dojo wars. Dudes got killed in the dojo wars.
Yeah, a couple people got killed.
Yeah, and he fucking bombed he set a bomb off.
Yeah, he was like
in the window of a fucking rival dojo. So what are you talking about with the
It's
dojo?
like Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
It's Cobra Kai. So like I said,
grown men.
So people might think that Cobra Kai is exaggerated.
No.
Like grown men like fighting over the dojos and stuff. No, that actually happened, and I'm pretty sure that the writers of Cobra Kai are aware of that.
Yeah, Count Dante.
I think they're leaning into that.
Now there's a movie that I fucking love. It's one of my favorite movies. It's called The Art of Self-Defense, which is basically kind of like inspired by the Dojo Wars.
It is, yeah.
And I love that movie, even though, like the dude who made it, Jen took me to see that movie. She thought I was going to hate it. And I fucking loved it. I loved it. Because it is funny, but it is absolutely true about the way warrior cults are. Yeah. Which is like, fucking, what was that fucking movie with fucking Fight Club?
Yeah.
Fight Club about a terrorist unit, a homegrown terrorist unit. Well, what you see in Fight Club and what you see in fucking Art of Self-Defense and shit and all these warrior cults, that's the way the Army is. That's the way fucking Army Rangers are. Infantry. Fucking SF guys. They're kind of like that. No, they're true. They're real, though. You know what I mean? But they were killing people. But, they're kind of doing that in fucking Art of Self-Defense, too. They're killing people.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Crazy dojo motherfucker.
They just take that shit entirely
take this shit real seriously.
It's like, come on, you guys, calm down.
And what was funny about it in Art of Self-Defense... This is why
dudes die earlier.
Yeah, what was funny about Art of Self-Defense is that the dojo was being run by dudes, and the dudes were kind of frauds, in a way. The best student was a chick.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't promote her.
Of course not.
They were promoting the other dude, and the dudes are doing massages and shit. Battle massages, and it's like homoerotic.
Yeah, it totally totally tracks.
Yeah, but
really
she ended up in the end. Fucking, they killed the fucking dojo master, and they were. She got promoted. She ended up taking over the dojo.
Yeah, she took over. Yeah.
Which she was the only one that kind of deserved it. When you see all the little details, because they were cheating.
Yeah, all the dudes were just
they were
super
cheating.
silly.
I gotta see that one again. That was a good one.
Do we have that?
Yeah, I own it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought we bought it.
I got a Blu-ray. Yeah.
Straw Dog says Executive Decision was the best Steven Seagal movie because he dies before the end of the first act. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That was a Kurt Russell movie. You would probably love it. I saw it a long time ago. Yeah, Kurt Russell is in it. And who else is
the
in it?
one that I want to see is the one I haven't seen. It's supposed to be his last movie in Hollywood, and it's supposed to be fucking horrible. It's called Fire Down Below.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Did I see that? Where he waxes all fucking green and shit. You're talking about you should.
I feel like he did that in a lot of his final movies.
Yeah, they seem to be having problems with him because he didn't want to kill anybody in the movies anymore. I said, no, but you got to kill us. This is a movie. Nah, I don't want to do that. Here's the fucking funny thing. Everybody knows that dude is full of shit.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
Does he know that everybody knows that?
But Steven Seagal artifacts are worth a lot of money. I saw a Steven Seagal poster that was a Xeroxed poster of an event he was going to be in. He was going to give a speech at just a place. I don't remember.
Some random.
You could pay $10 to go hear him give a speech, and it was just a little Xeroxed sheet, and that shit was like a couple $100. The bids had gone up to a couple $100. Yeah, it wasn't even autographed or anything. It was just.
I mean, some people
I kind of feel like his shit.
Most of his audience, though, is like him ironically.
I think so. But it doesn't matter. The shit's worth a lot of money. But they still buy it. They're still buying it. They were auctioning off a full can of Asian Experience, and that was in the hundreds of dollars. An empty can was still worth a lot too.
Remember that guy? I can't remember what his name is, but he's on with the Angry Video Game Nerd that also does. What's his name, James or whatever, and because he also does the horror movie reviews. Yeah. And he has this other guy that does the show with him sometimes, and that dude is like the #1 like Steven Seagal fan, and he collects like Steven Seagal stuff.
Steven Seagal action figures.
Yeah, he's got like all the shit. He's got like all the movies and everything. Yeah. Like he thinks he's ridiculous, but it's like he's kind of into it. Yeah. And on one of the shows, he had bought one of those cans and like drank it like on the fucking.
I wonder if it held up. How long,
he said it's like it didn't really. I mean, I don't really like energy drinks. They all taste like.
But how long can an energy drink fucking?
But
how long can that be? How long can that exist in a sealed can before it goes bad?
Well, it's an energy drink. How would you know? Because they taste like ass just when they're fresh.
Yeah.
So how would you even tell if it had gone bad?
It tasted like a good energy drink anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
That was an old school.
So it's like, how would you know if it had gone bad or not? It's like, well, it tastes like ass, but it probably tasted like that when it was freshly minted from the factory, you know? I don't know.
John Gore says, isn't Michael Caine also in Fire Down Below? I don't know.
Is he?
He might be.
Now we gotta see it.
Yeah.
Although it's probably really boring. Although it might be like pretty entertaining, I would think.
I think it was the last, if I remember correctly, it was the last movie that he was able to make in Hollywood. No, I think it was the second to the last. That was the last one that I think he made kind of unimpeded. Then there was another one that happened after that they fucked with him so bad the director wanted to tank his career, and because they couldn't stand him.
No one can stand him.
He kept trying to sue him and all kinds of shit.
And I can see that because he seems like insufferable.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he probably goes places and whines and cries about how he was canceled or whatever. I'm like, nah, you're probably just a douche and nobody wants to work with you.
I got to go back and look at Steven Seagal lore. Yeah, there is a lore.
I mean, I'm imagining.
Jen, it's getting late, man. Let's get something to eat.
All right. So Tom's getting hungry and he's getting fussy.
Getting fussy. Getting fussy, bitch.
I would say he's getting fussy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap it up for this evening. So it doesn't get. We don't want the Subway to close.
Yeah, don't want the Subway to close.
before we get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna go down and get some Subway. So thanks you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We don't know. We're not gonna do Kolchak on Monday. I don't think because I don't think we'll have enough time.
Yeah.
We've watched like 7 or 8 episodes, but that's a lot of episodes.
We're not going to have time. A couple weeks probably to watch Kolchak.
Yeah, so it'll probably be like the Monday following. So I don't know what we're going to do this Monday, but we'll figure something out. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out with us this Friday evening. It's always a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Thanks for your super chats. We'll be back again on Monday for a movie review. We don't know what the movie is yet. So yeah, have a good night. Have a good weekend. And we will see you guys again on Monday night. Good night.